welcome to our first week of Shadowguard. Off to a great start. Charlie, I don't know do you want to say anything first before I actually...
I guess I should. Most people that watch regularly know me. I dungeon master on this channel all the time. So today we're introducing our first new dungeon master ever, which is great. Our good friend Amel, and I'm really excited to have him. I've watched his D&D stream many times. You guys should go and follow him if you don't know him, and check out his streams because he's a great dungeon master. And I'm excited to play a character for once. But that's all I have to say. The great Amel, you take it from here.
Cool. So first off, I'm wearing this hat because by request, it is my Woody hat that I have for Halloween next year. So I'll be wearing it until it starts to bother me and it's coming off. It has nothing to do with the campaign setting we're going to be playing in. The game we are playing is going to be, it's a homebrew game known as Shadowguard. It takes place about a few hundred years, couple centuries after some great calamity that happened in this world. We will be concentrating mainly on the Kingdom of Ophrella, where the members of the Shadowguard, which are these 3 players, will be doing their best to assist the people of the towns, the village, and the country, and ridding the wildlife of evil. Typically, it will involve undead, vampires, werewolves, creepy crawlies, the nasty stuff. I'm going to do my best to make it a darker themed campaign, and we will be using the 5e rule set with a few little minor homebrew rules that most people use. So, I think that's a decent explanation of it. So why don't we introduce the players before we do anything with the game? So why don't we...
Real quick,
Go ahead.
Real quick, let me interrupt you so we don't confuse anyone. My webcam is under the wrong character.
Oh no, I fail miserably.
My name is not Lukewarm
He
Water.
is not.
Probably gonna disconnect.
It was a trick. We pulled the old
Disconnect.
Professional.
switcheroo.
We heard, yeah. There we go. Professional. All right, my bad, guys.
It's all right.
So, since he's disconnecting, everybody knows who you are, Charlie. So, Jazzy, do you want to just introduce yourself, give a little bit of details on the experience of roleplay or D&D you've had, and maybe something else about yourself?
My first D&D game was in like May of 2017.
It was on my channel.
And then I stopped playing in like July.
Your first D&D game ever was on stream?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Threw it right under the bus.
It was,
That's tough.
it's very, very spooky.
All right, this already hurts.
And it still is.
Well, we're all here to help out. So
We're all friends.
we're all friends. So, all right, Nick. Why don't...
Yes. Yes. I'm sorry. Who's talking to me now?
I've never heard that before.
I know him as Moko, but he prefers to be called Nick, so I will be nice, and you are now Nick for the moment. And why don't you give us some details on your experience for D&D, what you've done, and a little bit about yourself.
So I've been playing D&D for about 12 years. Very long time. I started off with 3.5. I played a variety of different campaigns, most of which are epic campaigns, gestalted campaigns. I played a few games with Aaron, played a Dungeon World campaign. I like to be a little bit offbeat, but I still try to keep everything like a real world scenario within a character, like how a character would actually react in the real world. So don't expect too many crazy things that you might see from other players, but do expect it to be kind of weird.
Okay.
Weird is good.
Do you want to give any information about you, Charlie, for anybody who eventually will see this on YouTube, or...
Yeah, sure. If you're new to the channel, this is a network. We have multiple streamers, but it's a network that was originally my solo channel that I had started, and we had such a great community. I wanted to do something a little more filled out and with a little more variety. But I'm a musician, a videographer, and mainly a freaking dork. And so I do that on Twitch like 4 days a week. And we have a bunch of other great streams on here. You can check out, all the music and stuff, I believe, in our info section, all the other stuff we do. But that's about it. Yeah.
Cool. All right. I guess I will give a little bit about me. I started with D&D. I technically started watching roleplay right when it first came out, because I used to watch a lot of JP from StarCraft time when he used to be a caster. I've never really gotten a chance to play in a game for the most part. I have played as a player in a few one shots where I've always died. I've never made it. I've never made it through one ever. But I have DM'd for 2 or 3 years. I don't know exactly.
Almost 2.
Something like that.
2016.
Was it 2016? Nick was actually one of my first players. We started with Dungeon World. And that's what we kind of started getting my little DM roots in. And then from there, I have done 2 other campaigns. One of them lasted for roughly, I think, about 50 weeks, and then the other one lasted for 30, and now I'm on a new one, which is Petty Squabbles on my stream, which I do on Sunday mornings, is on week 19 next week, and that's going pretty decent. So that's kind of it about me. I guess we can kind of get into the campaign. We'll learn a lot as we go. Good.
I just realized I took that opportunity to talk about myself a whole bunch, but not mention D&D a single time.
Good.
I was going to say, as far as my D&D experience, I've been playing for a really long time, since 2nd edition, because I'm an old man.
God, he's an OG.
But that's about it. Also, I'm a perpetual dungeon master like you, Ammo.
I like it. I think the world building, I think, is a lot of fun to do.
Me too.
So
it's a good time. All right. So anyway, go into the story. Don't let me interrupt any longer.
No problem. If you guys have questions while I'm reading some of this off, or you want to interact at some point, the first little bit I'm going to read off. It shouldn't take too long, and then we'll introduce the characters, and then we'll continue with the story. And if you guys want to do anything, feel free to interrupt if you want to check something out or look at something. I have no problem with that whatsoever. So the basis of the story is that the music will start. The world fell to ruin centuries ago, and now the undead roam freely across the world. Life is hard, but the world lives on. Cities and villages have been walled, farmlands and roads are protected by a guild known as the Grey Laws. You, though, are part of the Shadowguard, one of the 4 most powerful guilds on this continent. You're not the City Watch or a band of mercenaries, you are the elite, tasked with ridding the countryside of all evil. Your group itself is assigned to the Kingdom of Ophrella. I'm gonna turn down that volume a little bit, it's a little loud. And this is because the last group that was assigned to this territory vanished 6 months ago. You don't know why, you don't know what happened, you're not even tasked with finding them. You can if you choose to do so. Your job is to keep everybody safe and make some money. So we start a little adventure not long after you enter the Kingdom of Ophrella. And we see you about 2 days out from Davenport, which is where you came from your ferry, where Mungus, you are riding on it's a horse-drawn buggy, basically, or a wagon and a mule. I can't remember exactly.
It is a mule and cart.
It's a mule and cart. You are riding on...
It's a black mule, to be more precise. Exactly. An old black mule.
Okay. And you arrive at a little tavern about 2 days' journey out. It is known as the Admiral's Arm. So we see the 3 of you getting off the cart and off the mule, and you are now walking towards the tavern. I kind of want to know what order you guys usually would go into things, and kind of maybe describe your characters as you walk in through the hard wooden door. So who would be in the front runner? Who would be the first person to walk into a building? Okay,
me.
Luke.
First person.
Why don't you describe your character?
Describe my character?
Yes.
Well, I'm a halfling of astonishing luck. I usually get what I want, but not always through an honest means. But I try to do good by the world. I probably would... It's hard to say. come in, tinkering about, kind of looking at everything, just gazing at everything, knowing what's around me, and being situationally aware of what's going on.
Okay. All right. Who follows up next? Is it UL or you, Monk?
I feel like Magnus would probably
Magnus,
go
yeah.
last because he is probably distracted, as always.
What are you distracted by?
I'm probably either writing in like a small handheld notebook
Okay.
and just like observing literally everything, like it's, you know, like it's science, looking at the most mundane things, but writing, like jotting notes about them, things like that. Or either that, or my nose is in a book or reading previous writings,
Okay.
like as I'm walking, like like flipping through pages and walking, probably bumping into the people in front of me and, you know, the door jam and things like that.
Okay. So, Elle, why don't you describe your character first? Let us know what she looks like, what she's carrying, weapons, all the fancy stuff.
Well, she's a human,
Okay.
so I suppose she may look slightly like me. She has a bow and a sword. Two-handed sword, right?
Yeah, not just a sword, but you have a two-handed sword on the back.
Yeah.
Now, my question for you on that is: the sword like kind of skinnier, or is it like a nice wide, like great sword?
No, I'd say it's a nice skinny.
Okay. Yeah, it's bi-handed. So, okay. About how tall are you? Color your hair.
I would say average female height, maybe 5'6"
Okay.
ish.
So you're the tallest one in the group.
It's not saying much.
And prepared for a counterattack on the biggest, squarest tortoise he'd ever seen.
I think I do a pretty good like English.
If you choose
Whatever.
at a later point to do it, then that's how you were talking the entire time. But until then, we just hear your narrative voice. We are back and we're alive. So apologize about that, guys. I don't know why it died.
Sorry
I am
about
a
that,
cardinal.
everyone.
Oh, you know, it's apology accepted.
So at least we didn't get your description before everybody missed it. So Magnus, why don't you describe your character?
Sorry, I was distracted.
Sorry.
I was reading. Magnus is he is a very small gnome who wears a quite large top hat. He is quite studied as he is a wizard, and he is not just any wizard. He is a necromancer, but not an evil necromancer. He's a goodly necromancer, and almost bordering on being a scientist. My background is undertaker's assistant, or mortician's assistant, rather. And I have a morbid curiosity with the dead and kind of necromantic spells, but it is all in the name of science and the betterment of humankind and humanoid kind, I should say, I guess. And yeah, he's always reading. He's always a little bit confused. And a little bit cheeky, but like most gnomes, generally really happy-go-lucky, and just interested in like everything. He's fascinated by everything, kind of guy. So as I said, he's flipping through a little handheld notebook of observations and research and data that he's made in the past as he enters into the tavern. Like I said, bumping probably into Jazzy, like face first and knocking his book in his face and then looking up. That's probably right about when she called me little, which is fine because it's not a slur.
Okay, it's not a slur. So,
Am I just unaware of this slur that is small?
everybody they have height issues potentially. They don't enjoy their shortness. Just as a description for the tavern, since I forgot to kind of give you guys what it looked like on the outside. The outside looks very intimate and peaceful and like kind of folksy. It's got like soft wooden planks, so they're more like the lighter, like not like pine. But they do have hard wooden tree trunks make up most of the building's outer structure. It's hard to see through the stained glass windows, but you can hear the cheerful sounds from within, and it can be felt, while you're outside. You kind of feel that good vibration going in. As you enter into the tavern with Luke stepping in first, you are welcomed with a kind of a sense of home, Luke, and you get a nice smile from the bartender who is assisting two patrons at the bar itself. The tavern itself actually has a few patrons inside. Greylaws seem to be the primary clientele, which would make sense as they're probably patrolling the roads. It also often indicates safety and usually decent food and drink. 4 of them occupy a large table in the tavern, and then the other smaller tables are unoccupied except for one drunken guy in the back corner. And then you see at the bar stools are almost mostly empty also, except for the 2 patrons chatting with the bartender.
The 2 what? You cut out there.
Sorry, the 2 patrons that are chatting with the bartender. Okay. So, where do you guys sit? Do you go sit at one of the small tables? Do you go sit at the bar?
No, I walk up to the bar.
All right, so you walk up to the bar.
Hey there.
The seats really aren't made for halflings. It takes a little bit of time for you to get up.
I'll stand. Is the bar above my head?
It would be probably just at eye height. Would make sense, because how tall are you?
Is there a box nearby?
You look around, you probably can find a box.
I need a box.
All right, so you grab a box and you stand on it, so it's up to your shoulders. And
hey there. Can I get me a beer and some that delicious elven pudding?
She kind of looks at you, pudding. I'm sorry to say, but we are actually fresh out of pudding. Pudding.
How could you be out of pudding? It's kind of like one of those delicate,
I understand.
How could you be out of pudding?
It's just it's not that commonly requested around here, so we don't really order it too much. But
scratch the beer and just give you a coffee.
I can do coffee. So she kind of looks at the rest of you. She goes, Hi, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to ignore you. Can I get either of you anything? Food, drink? What would you like? We have ale, mead. We have a really nice stout.
Magnus steps up and says, I would like a thimble of brandy, please.
A thimble? A literal thimble?
Well, the smallest glass you have.
Can do. And for you, lady?
I'm quite alright, thank you.
Okay, excellent. I'll be right back. And so she kind of wanders to the back, towards the kitchen, and comes back out with not a thimble of brandy, but a shot glass, basically, of brandy for you.
Okay.
For Luke, you get what you requested because I already forgot what it was, and
coffee.
You get your coffee, and
hey, thanks for the coffee there.
When she comes back, I wanna be like, excuse my friend here. He's quite choosy. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Magnus and Marigold Munch, but my friends call me Magnus. What is your name, dear?
Oh, it's a pleasure to meet you, Magnus. My name is Eleanor.
Ellen, I see. Well, what's the overall guild? The Shadowguard.
You are part of
right?
the Shadowguard, yes. And this is just as a clarification, she is an elf with long blonde hair. As she was doing the work and handing you the drinks, you did notice that her hands were stained in different colors, probably from different ale spilled and cleaning up. It would be your assumption.
I missed that very last part. What was your hand stained from?
They're probably from cleaning up and
okay, just work.
Work basically, yeah, different little stains and whatnot.
Question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, terribly sorry, Aaron. Given my upbringing, would I understand Elvish?
Yeah.
Okay.
You would understand Elvish. So continue, Magnus.
So, I don't really know what we're looking for something in particular in the area. We already kind of know where we're going, right? We're going to You're going to Whiteborough right now. Your guys' mission right now is really just to get to your HQ that's set up in this area, which is in the capital city on the far west or east side of this kingdom. It's along the ocean. It's the biggest one on the Okay.
map. So you guys, this is your trip to there, basically, when you encounter this.
To Whiteborough, you said, correct?
Whiteborough, correct. For the stream, I will zoom out so they can see.
So Magnus wants to say to the barmaiden, what was her name? Ellen, right?
Eleanor.
Eleanor. He says, well, my good Eleanor, I ask, are you familiar with the Shadowguard?
Yes.
Or any of the major monster hunting guilds of the area?
Yes, I'm quite familiar with the Shadowguard. I actually requested their assistance about 3 months ago, but we received no word, so I actually hired someone from the Red Suns to take care of the issue for me.
My good gracious, my deepest apologies on behalf of the entire guild. And like Magnuson does like a big bow to her.
No need to apologize. We all have heard that, your members, they disappeared. None of us know why. Hopefully you will find answers for that.
Yes, it's quite concerning. Did the red sashes or whomever
the Red Suns?
Excuse me. Did they take care of your problem?
They did quite well. They're usually, as you know, they are usually one-man fighters. They come in, they take care of it, they leave. They are quick and efficient, but it's also more dangerous for only having one person do it.
He like pushes up his little spectacles and says, "They're making us look bad. We'll have to get to HQ and fix this right away." Well, thank you, my dear.
No problem. If you don't mind asking, so are your plans to search for your missing members, or what are you planning on doing?
I mean, had we heard of that yet?
You are very much aware. The reason you guys got assigned to this territory was because they went missing. They're presumed dead by your guild. They assume they're gone. It's something, they got killed by a werewolf or some evil vampire or something, and you guys are their replacements, basically. But it's up to you whether or not you want to search for them or not. It's your guys' choice. You have free reign of where you want to go for the guild.
I tap him on the shoulder.
Yes, excuse me.
You don't need to tell everybody, about what we're doing here. It's kind of obvious to us, but you don't need to deprive all the information.
He's not intruding whatsoever. Everybody knows who the Shadowguard is.
I'm not telling her. I'm not telling her any details of our missions. That's Shadowguard business. Eyes only. You see, ma'am.
I understand. I always had a question. We never had them come by over here. Is it tough leaving your families? And doing this work somewhere where you're not from?
Ma'am, I come from a great line of city gnomes. My family is spread out all across the land.
Oh, must be wonderful.
It's okay.
Oh. Well, okay.
I never was much one for family. I grew up in a temple most of my life, you see. But enough about me. I'm going to join my friends. Thank you, dear.
No problem.
If you need the Shadowguard's help, you just let us know.
I will, for sure. And then she kind of looks over at you, Elle, and she goes, she handed you a water. She goes, is the water to your liking? Have you taken a drink of it? Have you not touched it, or?
Yeah, I've taken a sip. It's, thank you. It's quite good for water.
No problem. I noticed you were a little bit quieter than these other two that you're with. Is this like your first assignment? Have you done this before, or?
Actually, yeah, I'm pretty new here. But I also.
That's for chat.
I know.
If you read the thing.
Continue.
In Roll20.
You said you're new, you say. So, then did you get? I always heard Shadowguard get special training. Did they train you in a specific hunt or something, or are you still learning? Are you like an apprentice?
No.
She goes, oh, well, interesting. So, okay then. Well, if you need anything, please let me know. I see your friends have gone to one of the smaller tables. So just come get me if you need anything.
Thank you.
So you all three go sit down at one of the tables there. She sits there at the bar chatting up with the patrons for a while if you guys want to talk amongst yourselves or whatnot. Or we just
I'm kind of forgetful sometimes. What are we actually doing again?
Right now, you are currently.
I'm not talking to you.
Okay.
We are obviously on the way to relieve whoever might still be at the headquarters of Whiteborough. Don't you know many of our good countrymen have gone missing?
Well, I'm not actually from here, so I wouldn't say my countrymen, but I get the idea.
Well, your brothers, regardless, brothers an oath to the Shadowguard.
Oh yeah, sometimes I forget about them. Force of habit, growing up in the crazy situations that we all grow up in there. I wonder if they have any of their cheese. Eddie, can you go check see if they have any cheese and crackers there?
She's not your servant. You can get your own cheese and crackers, but I doubt they have it. I mean, this place doesn't even have elfin pudding. What a joke.
It's actually more of a request than a servant command. But I can see how it could be misconstrued.
Ellie, you got me calling her Ellie. Her name is Elle.
Well, if she calls me small, she obviously doesn't care what she's called.
You do what you like. You don't have to listen to him.
So, Elle, do you go and...
You said cheese?
Yeah, cheese and crackers would be quite delectable.
So I walk up back to where Eleanor is.
Yes, what can I do for you, dearie?
Do you happen to have cheese and crackers?
We have, blue cheese. It's got a little bit of mold on it, but some consider it a delicacy.
Mold is perfectly fine.
Excellent. Here, give me 1 minute. And she runs back into the kitchen, kind of skips towards it because you guys actually ordered some food. Comes back out and she hands you, and do you wait for her or do you go sit back down? To be more correct.
I'll sit.
Okay. So she comes out, looks around for you and sees you're at the table. And she comes over and she brings out some crackers, and blue cheese, which I don't know if that's what you were looking for, Luke. But it's at least close. So she sits down. She goes, "Enjoy, everybody. If you need anything else, please let me know."
I wiggle my coffee cup.
Oh, you need an extra one. Oh, do you need another brandy, sir?
No, I'm quite warm in the face from the first one.
Excellent.
And I hand her back the shot glass.
Would you like a water then?
No. Just let me stew in this for a while.
I understand. Keep the flavor.
Magnus kind of wobbles in his seat a little bit.
Hand goes out, holds him steady.
Thank you, my boy. Thank you.
Okay.
Always helpful. Ever helpful, Luke.
She comes back with her coffee and sits down. She kind of looks at Luke and goes, "So what is your story? You don't seem... I couldn't help but listen, but you don't seem to care about your comrades in arms, and you don't really seem to be attached to anybody."
To whom are they speaking to?
You, Luke.
Oh.
I just want to interrupt real quick.
Uh-huh.
Magnus holds his hand up and says, "Excuse me.
Oh, yeah.
Is your name Nancy? I believe it was Ellen, right?"
It was Eleanor.
Why are you being such a nosy Nancy?
Oh, I'm being a nosy Nancy.
Luke claps at this time and be like,
I reach over the table and kind of whack him on the arm.
What?
No.
Me. I giggle and I'm like, I don't mean any offense by it. That's what my mother would say. Your name should be Nancy.
It should be Nancy.
I'm going to dignify that when I have my hand on my head, this is when I'm speaking in Elvish for everybody else who knows it.
Okay, she is an elf. I did mention that.
Yeah.
Just so you know. Okay.
I know, that's why I asked.
Okay.
So I respond in Elvish. Oh, well, we care, but we all, process kind of information there in, different ways, and this is not so much as I don't care, as in I see it as an opportunity to, get a leg up here and there.
So as you're talking, you notice that kind of her body language shifted a little bit. She doesn't really seem to be paying attention to what you're saying anymore at this point. She's kind of just she's still kind of staring at Magnus. Or I have a question for you. Is it Magnus? Because right now you on the stream overlay it says Mangus. And
it's supposed to be Magnus.
Okay.
It's just misspelled.
I just wanted to make sure I'm not mixing up. I keep looking at them both. I'm like, I don't know what to say.
Oh, that sucks. I didn't see that before.
That's fine. We'll fix it. Yeah.
So smiling and nodding at her as she's not listening, I say, "Oh, is it all right if I go, liberate you some from coins?"
So,
smile and nodding as she's not paying attention, so she just smiles and nods.
No, she's not even smiling and nodding. She's just staring at.
No, I'm smiling and nodding, so she just nods and goes.
She's not looking at you. She's staring at Magnus. She goes, I grow tired of this. At this point, I think I've gotten all the information that I need. And you watch as her body itself, the blonde hair, starts shifting from blonde to black. Her barmaid's clothing shifts into a red dress. You watch as she raises her finger at you, Magnus, and then shifts it towards the door, and you watch as a bolt of lightning shoots out of her fingers through the wall, and you hear just this crushing as the front door collapses.
I'd like to make a comment that during this conversation, I shoot her on the table with a gun. I typed it out before you said
Go ahead and make a roll.
Fuck this bitch.
Okay.
I forgot you're a gunslinger. It's so badass. You're Han Soloing this bitch right
So
now.
you literally shoot under
first.
the table.
I would like to argue because she can't see the gun. She doesn't know what's coming. I get advantage, even if it's a 13.
Okay, so you shoot, and it shoots, and you thought you were gonna hit her, and for some reason it does. Like you can't see because it's under the table. It somehow misses her leg. You have no idea how. And she just looks at you and goes,
I think I had a
that
toot.
wasn't very nice. And then she just raises her hand, and I need you to make
I
me.
sink under the table.
All right. All right, you need to make me a. Should have had this open before. A wisdom saving throw.
Me?
Yes.
Oh no. Oh no.
You fail as your body locks in place as you fall back in your chair onto the ground.
Am I still sliding under the table?
Yes, you kind of like slide slowly, and then
I'd like
it
to
falls
argue
over.
I get cover.
Okay. She looks and just goes, "You stay just right there for a second." She goes, I don't know what she goes. She goes, "Consider this your welcome." She goes, "Into my territory." And if you
Into what? You're cutting out.
thank you. Sorry, I keep talking quietly. Consider this your welcome into my territory. If you survive this, then just remember, don't interfere with my work, and you'll be free to do as you please.
Can I speak at this time?
No, you are paralyzed. You are unable to do anything at the moment besides basically breathe out of your nose. She goes, "I wish you good day."
Magnus has pulled out his sketchbook, and I am like literally just looking at her and trying to sketch her as fast as I can.
Because you weren't really paying attention to her beforehand, but you have had time to, so you probably could draw a decent picture. I wouldn't say performance. What would you? This is a tough one. I want to.
Well, I do. I have a no.
You don't do
maybe
calligraphy or
I don't have a calligrapher's kit
or
forge.
cartographers.
So it's up to you if you want to give me that. I would take a calligraphy kit.
I will.
if you
That
like.
is perfectly fine. You've had plenty of time practicing drawing, or at least writing and whatnot. So
I'll make a non-proficient calligraphy check if you'd like.
yeah, you can do. I'll still allow with proficiency. It's fine.
Just write a description.
Dex or intelligence?
It would be intelligence. It's really for remembering. So you gotta get like 13. I don't know the music keeps stopping.
Ah,
All right, so you draw. It's roughly close to it. It's just not exact.
Gotcha. Well, as I'm trying to draw, I don't really have like a worried look on my face or seem scared. Just like leering in like a pure amazement. And I'm like, my dear, excuse me, if you don't mind me asking, who are you and what work is it that you are doing here?
So she just
quite interesting.
She
in
just
fact.
smiles at you as you watch as the tavern itself, the illusion that was on it starts to fade from top to bottom. The glass stained windows that you couldn't see through are actually boarded up, which is the real reason why you couldn't really see through them. The patrons that are around, 2 of them from the Grey Laws disappear from the illusion, and the other 2 are just laying there as corpses on the table. The bar patrons,
the patrons that
were there at the bar, the drunkard in the back
weren't ever alive. They were just corpses.
They are corpses at the tables, and she just smiles
like
at you. The floors are rotting, and you see the 2 fangs of her teeth as she turns into mist and just flows out of the.
She turned into mist.
She turns into mist.
I make a note of that in my book as well with the drawing.
It's perfectly acceptable.
I'm gonna add a roughly drawn. What should I name it? My handout.
Oops. You can probably just name her the Mistress for now. I have an actual name for her, but you don't know. You can just put it as Eleanor. I have an actual name for her, but you don't know it, so I'm not going to give it to you yet.
You mean Nancy?
Nancy is her real name. That's why she's so insulted. You found out her true name.
I'm gonna put poor sketch of Eleanor.
All right. So, Luke, though, you are still paralyzed on the ground, like locked in place for probably another good 30 seconds as you watch Magnus and Elle, you watch her like pass by a couple of the windows and out of sight. As soon after, Luke, the hold that was on you releases and you're able to move again and breathe through your mouth and talk.
I'm still going to stay under the table because I.
Do you just crawl slowly further under?
Yeah, of course.
All right. And
I would like to say I'm hiding now.
And at that same point, the corpses that were no longer moving by the power of
Grayskull.
her, not Grayskull, but from her power, start to move and come to life. And that is where we're going to roll initiative and switch to a different screen.
Real quick, who's coming to life? The corpses.
The corpses.
Now she's gone.
She
right?
is gone.
Left.
Yes. So I'm going to shift screens here for you guys. There is an upstairs. And this is what you guys see. This is the table you were sitting at. You guys can arrange yourself as you want. Technically, Luke, you are under the table. You can move your...
I don't think you put us there. You just put the stream there.
I thought, stream wouldn't be able to see unless you guys see it.
I don't see it.
Maybe you need a refresh?
That's because you're a GM.
You might need to refresh, yeah, because you haven't refreshed since I removed
My
it.
bad.
Alright, I gotta switch the music once again, actually, to the combat music.
Dun, 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 dun,
I have
dun,
like
dun,
a 50 like music list on this thing, so I have no idea what it's gonna do first.
Oh man, I wonder if that note. So when I reloaded, it put me in my Curse of Strahd game. I wonder if the note I just made was actually in that game.
No, it should still be in the other one. It's just
I'd also like to take the moment to reload right now.
Go ahead. Oh, reload your gun. Nah, we're rolling initiative, sir.
Yeah, I could still do that as I become on whatchamacallit. It's a bonus action.
Okay, so this is what you see.
Oh God.
Zoom out a tiny bit more.
It is Blork and rolls, Aaron.
You're welcome. All right.
So Magnus shouts across the room to, or under the table rather. I poke my head under the table and say, "Are you quite all right, Luke?"
Oi. Yeah.
Here, I'm gonna pull out. Should have. There we go. There's my updated token.
Okay. Oh yeah, sorry, I put that one out there before you updated it.
That's all right. No worries.
Go ahead. Did you roll initiative yet? Do I need to add you back? You have not.
Oh, yeah, I didn't. I'll add it. You don't have to add it. The initiative macro should add it automatically to the
Right,
tracker.
but if you deleted the token, I figured then you
Oh,
would
yeah.
have to add it.
No,
anyway.
it's good. I got a good roll too. I'm happy with that.
Okay.
Oh God, he gets to go
I
first.
get to go first. So I'm going to order them manually so it doesn't mess up the round order.
Well, he got 19, so.
Oh, he gets to go first. Okay. So. Magnus, you are up.
Magnus does a little arcane chant, and like makes some hand symbols and then like touches himself on the forehead and he casts mage armor on himself.
Okay. So your AC.
If it says reaction, but it's not.
It's not, no. It's probably with the shield issues that ran into.
Yeah,
it's also more than
it's
one
left
round. It's 8 hours.
Let me fix that.
You
real
can do
quick.
that.
But yes, so that's what I do. I have it. It should have turned on the little mage armor symbol.
Yep.
Which puts me, what is it, +2?
It puts you at a 14 AC.
All right. Cool.
Cool. All right. So I'm going to go to press the next one for you. It is the zombies' turn. So the first couple are going to move up and around their tables. 10, 15, 20. Now, Max, you are under a table, which means you're prone.
I also said I was hiding. So
Give me
I
a stealth check.
hide
You can give me a
check.
stealth check first. All right, versus their perception.
There's no way to have a high passive perception.
Nah.
Because they were reanimated after I was under the table.
Technically, they were alive the entire time she was there, so they knew you were around that area. But they don't. He does not see you. As he moves, that's as far as he can go for his turn, and it ends his turn. So it is now the other zombie's turn. 5, 10. It moves right up to you. and it makes a it tries to claw at you or make a slam attack. It rolls a 1 and misses. This one will move forward around the table. 5, 10, 15, 20, 20, 5, 10, 15, 20. That is the zombie's turn. As Luke, you are up.
I'm going to smash this zombie with a mace.
Okay. I like the plan.
Boom. Suck a bitch.
A 19 for 7 does hit.
And it is bludgeoning. I don't know if that matters, but...
Actually, it does not. It seems to do just the amount of damage you normally would do to a creature. As it takes 7 damage. You break off a couple ribs, but it still seems to come at you at full speed.
This is looking more to go for its knees, but okay. Because I am hiding under a table.
It's still moving full speed.
Okay.
Okay. So, is that your turn?
That is my turn.
Alright. So what we'll try to do is we'll try to get, yep, exactly. We'll try to get you, so you always hit the EOT at the end on your thing when you're done. So, I don't know why it says Jax on there, but L, you're up. I thought I fixed that.
What, it says what?
Her name on her turn order is wrong.
It says L. Clark in the turn. Oh, in the turn order.
Yes.
Oh, I can't see it, so it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, it's fine. Okay. So, L, what do you do? Move this over here so they can see what's going on.
I hit the one right, like, above, beside me.
Yeah.
With my greatsword.
Alright. Alright, so you pull out the greatsword, this long, skinny blade, and just slice across it. Nothing's near it, so you do not get your sneak attack, but you do hit and deal 10 damage to it. Cutting into a chunk of its flesh. Like you get maggots stuff like flowing out of it, but nothing too much more than that. As the round ends. Alright. Magnus, you are up.
Alright. Now that Magnus is all shielded. Sorry, I just had to reload. I'm gonna pull my character sheet back out. There we go. I'm gonna cast a Ray of Frost at the zombie to my right here.
Mm-hmm.
I say, let's see. There's no material component. So yeah, I say another little chant and do another little hand motion and spray frost out of my hand at the...
Okay, is it like a snowblower like spray frost, or is it like a beam of like frost?
I imagine it's more of a beam. Yeah, it's a ray.
Okay.
It's like...
Alright, so I need to roll a 10, which does not, does hit.
Nice.
So go ahead and click the roll damage for 3. Okay. The zombie starts to slow a little bit. It seems to, you hit his chest, and it's slowing down the rest of his body a little bit, it seems.
Nice.
Okay. Is that your turn?
That is it. Sorry, I keep forgetting I can end my own turn.
Nope.
I'm not used to being the player.
No problem. Alright, zombies are up. For being the person that hit him, you technically hit him for more, but Magnus hit him last, which is usually the rule I go with.
Clearly visible, and I'm not.
Well, he's also the person who hit him last, which is usually what I base it off of. So, the zombie walks forward to you, Magnus, and makes tries to slam into you with its fists. Rolls an 18 for 5 bludgeoning damage. The other zombie goes down and reaches under the table for you, Luke. A 14 for 2.
Get your hands off me there, you hoser.
You have a,
I actually have a 14.
that means it hits. Equal to hits. Okay, and these ones 5, 10, 15, 20, 5, 10, 15. So these 3 are going to go after L. So first one's going to be top. I'm just going to go top and down. 5, a 14, and an 8. What is your AC? It's the blue button.
14.
Okay, so the one hits you for 2 damage. To readjust all the music, it's all too loud. Okay, and that is the zombie's turn. Luke, you are up.
Well, I'm going to continue to smash this one. 'Cause I'm going to hit it with my mace again.
Okay.
Boom.
A 12 hits for 2 damage for the one to the south, correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right, you break a few of its bones, so it's kind of dragging its leg along, but still doing okay. Is that your turn?
There's nothing else I can really do, so yeah, I guess.
Okay. L, you are up. The zombie to the north is the weakest one around you, as your other buddies are starting to get slowly surrounded also.
Yeah, I guess I'll use my greatsword on the one above me again.
Okay.
Jeez.
So, I want to know, how does your first kill look? Like, what do you do to this zombie to just destroy it?
I shove it up through its...
So you go like
Yeah.
through, so you stab it like into the abdomen and up through the head, behind the rib cage.
I like that.
Yes. So we watch as you're fighting, fending off these 3. You reach down, you stab in, reach up, and it just like goes limp. And then you just pull your sword back out, and it just crumples to the ground. All right, Magnus, you're up.
All right. Now, let me ask you this. I am a necromancer and a necromancy savant.
Mhm.
Do I know... I actually don't know this in real life either. I feel like I should. Are zombies resistant to necrotic damage, or would Magnus know that?
I don't know if you've had probably some experience. Why don't you give me a history check?
Can I do Arcana instead, since it applies to necromancy? Sweet, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, it's always that. So you are aware that they are not immune to necrotic damage. You do know that they are typically aren't affected by poisons because they don't really have a flowing bloodstream.
Dope, good to know. So if that's the case, Magnus casts his... Oh, something went wrong there. Oh, yeah.
Well, seems right.
One of the macro. Still got the old character name.
Oh,
so Magnus,
save. Okay.
I'll roll it one more time.
Okay.
You can keep the first roll, the 12 damage.
Yeah.
3 kind of, if the target is missing any of its hit points, it takes 12 instead. Oh, that's pretty dope.
So, but if I succeed on the save, then
the save
there's no effect whatsoever. It's a wisdom, which is great for you.
DC 14 saving wisdom throw.
I roll a 3. So all right.
He's already taken hits, right?
Yeah, so he takes a 12 damage. Why don't you describe your first kill in this game?
So, Magnus starts, channeling the weave, this magic energy through him, and it kind of like, as he calls out this arcane incantation, it outlines the zombie in like black flames and just like burns it to the ground like a pile of just burning bones and dried skin. And it's just like laying on the ground, still burning with the necrotic fire.
Awesome. Okay, it is the zombie's turn. Okay, so the zombie, the one that's by Luke, is going to make an attack at you.
Can I say... Oh, never mind.
Okay, so it misses you. The other 2 are going to make attacks versus L. 1 and 2. I crit you. So L, you take... I hit you with all those, actually. So L, you actually take 18 damage.
Is she dead?
Man, I rolled really well.
She gone.
She's not.
I have 2 health.
So Elle just gets mauled by these 2. She gets like pinned to the ground. She's like trying to push them up. They're just clawing at her and biting at her. She eventually gets them off, but she is not looking well. She's bleeding profusely from everywhere. And at that point, it is Luke's turn.
Okay, so Luke looks at the one that's been attacking him and says, "Hey there, Hoser. Say hello
Nah.
to my little friend."
11 does hit it for 6 piercing. Okay. It gets hit. It just blows the hole in its chest, and it just keeps coming towards you. Okay. Elle, you are up. Elle, I will remind you of your cunning action ability, which allows you to use your bonus action to dash, disengage, or hide. You can always use your action first to attack, and then use one of those afterwards. Such as disengaging to save yourself.
Probably be smart.
Yeah, well, because I can attack first and then run away.
Yeah, you can attack first, and then you can use your action first to attack, and then you can use your bonus action to disengage, and then move your normal movement speed.
So you can attack and walk away without taking an opportunity attack.
So to the one to the left of me.
Okay. 22 for 13. You hit with no problem, dealing 13 damage to it. You cleave into it, cutting off one of its arms and into its side. It's not dead, but it's not looking so great.
Each space is 5, right?
Each space is 5 feet, yes. And you can move diagonally.
If you pick up your token, there's a cool trick.
Yes, there is.
While you're dragging your token, if you hit spacebar, and then if you keep hitting spacebar while you move your token around, you drop points. Watch my token real fast. Did he move around a little path?
That was cool. I didn't know how to do it that way.
And it measures for you. So that was 20 feet. So you, as you're like moving your token, before you drop your token in a new space, click spacebar, and then keep clicking it as you move your token around. Try it real fast. See if you can do it. Yeah, I like that because it shows your path and it measures for you.
That is really nice. I didn't know you could do that. All right, so right now you have moved. You moved 15 feet. You still have 15 more feet you can move.
Just...
Okay. Okay, it is your turn. It is now Magnus's turn.
All right. Sorry, let me close my dang sheet. I think I'm going to... I'm going to shoot another ray of frost at the zombie, this one here.
Okay. 22 hits. 4.
Same thing. I chant an arcane incantation and shoot a little ray of frost out of my palm.
All right. It is now the zombie's turn. Okay, so the one zombie that's been going for you, Luke, this entire time reaches under and starts grabbing. He hits you with a 20 for 6 bludgeoning damage as he slams into your chest with his fist. These other 2 zombies, 1, 2.
Ooh, that's brutal.
These both will go here. Magnus, you took 5 damage prior to this, correct?
Yeah, I'm at 7 HP.
No, Magnus.
Oh, sorry.
You took a hit before, right? 'Cause I don't see your HP changed on the, I think you took a 5, didn't you? Charlie?
Did I take damage?
I think you took a 5. I thought you should have hit. Well,
I'm sorry, I have not been paying great attention, and it's my fault.
it's fine. I'm pretty sure you got hit for 5 at one point.
I did. I just took the damage from it.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure I'm looking at the proper things here. Okay, so these 2 zombies are going to make an attack against you.
All right.
Boom. Okay, for 6, and then the second one misses.
Alrighty.
All right.
I am bloodied pretty badly.
Okay, Luke, you are up.
Bonus action reload,
Okay.
and then I'm going to shoot it again.
Okay. You could have used that bonus action on the previous turn. You do hit for 7. It is not down, but it now looks severely wounded. Like most of its torso is starting to come off of, it's starting to split in half a little bit. Is that your turn? You gonna move away or anything else?
Can I retcon and use my bonus action previous turn to reload?
That's fine. I don't mind if you reload this turn. That's fine.
Okay. Can I use an action to disengage and move?
No, you shot him. That was
Mm.
your action.
Can I still run away?
You can run away, but it'll be an attack of opportunity.
Boop.
Okay. Just one square.
Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So the only thing I have to cut off on you on that, because you were prone under the table.
I can roll out.
He is also, but the zombie is also prone while attacking, which is why I never got advantage. You have to take half your movement to get up once you get out from under the table. So you can move 15 feet outside. So you go right to there, yeah.
Hey, real quick, can you guys hear me?
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, it said Discord wasn't sensing my mic, but it
Weird.
is.
Okay. So Luke, I have to make an attack against you. I miss. So I roll a 5, and you are
Take that,
safe.
you hoser.
L, you are up.
Well, guess at this point I'll take out my bow
Okay.
and can I? Which one's the weakest?
As you take a quick look at it, you can't really see the one behind the table, but the one to the left are closest to you to Magnus. It looks probably the weakest of the ones you can see at a quick glance.
Okay. So I'll shoot that one.
No, that one. The one to the left of you.
Save me, Ale.
Okay. So you shoot, and it
Crit.
goes right through his eyes, right through the brain, and it collapses to the ground as it's like getting ready to like gnaw on your like face, Magnus.
Wait, let me get the crit button. Hold on.
I don't have a crit button.
Sorry.
It's fine. I approve. I approve. All right, Magnus, you're up. There is a fully moving corpse to the left of you. What do you do? Charlie?
Oh, me? I'm
Yes.
so sorry. I thought you were talking to Luke. Dude, I'm so out of it. My bad. Thank you, whoever uh-oh'd me. You guys can't hear it, but they're triggering sound effects on my bot.
Nice.
Let's see, Magnus, I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cast False Life,
Okay.
which is an action, and I gain 7 temporary hit points. And I'm actually going to risk an opportunity attack
Okay.
to step all the way back with my gunslinger pal.
17, I hit you for 4.
Okay, I'm going to cast Shield as a reaction.
Okay. Which increases it by 5, and your AC right now is a 14, so 19, which means it misses. So, what does your shield look like? How does the reaction work?
So,
Pally bubble.
So I'm gonna, when I cast False Life, I just like, I crush up the ingredients and you can see like a little red swirl around my head. But then as I step away, I just like, my shield is actually a snap. I just snap my fingers and say an incantation and a blue bubble like, poing, like DBZ style pops up around me.
Okay, I like it. And
as I run away.
And it just bounces off, kind of almost loses its balance, but regains it. Just,
yeah, just like pushes him back a little bit, like just enough to shake him.
Okay.
And that's gonna be Magnus's turn.
Okay. So it is now the zombie's turn. There's 2 of them. So the one that's gonna get up, it's gonna have its movement speed to get up, like out from where it's at, and it's gonna move its distance it can go. So
It's gonna walk right over and smack you in the face.
it is. As it reaches its maximum distance, it just like lunges at you with its fist.
I have a question.
Yes.
Yeah!
How do you
You suck it, you hoser.
make the bubbles go away? Like when you click your character?
Unclick your character. Like click off of them, it'll go away. Alright, so that one misses. This one goes 5, 10.
Oh, tough terrain.
It goes in a diagonal. It's not tough terrain.
It's gotta go over a table corner.
It's not tough terrain.
Oh my god.
Because it would have been for Magnus then, too. And then moves forward, and it's going to take an attack at L. With a 5, it misses. As Luke, it is now your turn.
Come on, Luke.
Oh, you bloody hoser.
Alright, just take your mace out, smack it across the head. It like falls sideways for a second, just kind of lifts back and
We should get you a Mountie uniform crafted, and you should ride a horse.
Oi,
Oh no.
we've been gleaving. You never visit your mother.
Are you gonna do anything else, or is that your turn? The one near you looks extremely weak at this point. It's just he's not dead yet.
I've already attacked it. What else are we gonna do?
Run away if you want to take an attack of opportunity.
I run away. Fuck this.
Okay,
I need
you're gonna run.
range.
Okay,
Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3.
I hit you for 5.
That's fine.
Okay,
Sorry, Luke. I'd give you my mage armor, but you got that stupid leather jacket on.
Or, you know, it serves its purposes. Eh?
Okay.
As I'm like,
Just trying to help out, but I guess you gotta look cool.
that's what it's all about in life, man. Looking cool. What's the point of living?
So Magnus is like, that's like not part of the table where he is.
wait, what? What?
Like, if I were to walk around the table right there, I could walk where Magnus is, and I would be going around it.
You'd be around the table, yeah. Like Magnus right now is like up against. He's like leaned up against the table, like in a little bit of fear.
Make sure you disengage.
Yeah, if you can use your bonus action to disengage prior to making your attack.
Wait, since I never reloaded, can I disengage it as well, or no?
No, disengage. She's a rogue, which means she can disengage as a bonus action.
Cool.
Just because
Just
she's a rogue.
double checking.
So what do you do, Elle?
What's the weaker of the two?
Quick glance. If you take a quick glance around, the one to the north looks more weak.
They're both to the north, Aaron.
Obviously, the farther north one.
More north. You get the bonus action comes back every
You can
round,
do
right?
it. Yeah, it comes back every round, and you can do it before or after an action.
Okay.
You can move, bonus action, move. You can action, but you can basically do them in any order you want.
I guess
Split up your move.
I don't want to die. So
It's a good choice.
1, 2,
He can always
Yeah.
resurrect you, though. That's an undead minion.
All right, so you disengage and you run around the table.
and then I shoot the northern dude.
Okay. Your 12 hits for 10. As once again, it pierces right through its eye into the brain, and it just collapses to the ground. There is one zombie left at the moment.
All right, one more time. Magnus chants his necrotic incantation and casts necrotic shroud on the remaining zombie.
Okay.
He must take a DC 14 wisdom saving throw or take 2 necrotic damage.
It takes 2 because this one has not actually taken any damage yet.
All right.
Okay.
And I guess I'm just going to retreat a little further.
Okay.
Oh, He can move 30 feet? That's
Oh, I was
podunk as
supposed to-
fuck.
25, sorry. I'm right there. And that's my turn.
Okay. So as the zombies go, this one moves forward, so 5, 10. It gets to there and its turn ends. At that same time,
It's chasing us.
at that same time, okay, so right in front of you, Magnus, you watch as this other zombie comes flying over the edge of the balcony above and lands on the ground, taking damage.
Oh, goodness.
You just hear the creaking of like the handrail above, and you hear
As he stands back up from the fall, I smile and I turn like over my shoulder to Luke and I'm like, they're quite resilient, aren't they? And I pull out my notebook and try and scribble something in there.
Oi, this is not the best time to be taking notes there, buddy.
Oh, excuse me. And then I just like throw it and pull my weapon.
It actually doesn't have enough movement to get up from where it was at because it only has 5 feet of movement left and it needs half of it to get up.
Stand up.
So it is actually prone at the moment.
Well, when I see it moving, I say that regardless.
Okay.
Sorry, go ahead, Luke.
I have a question, Aaron.
Yeah.
Does there happen to be a chandelier above either of these two?
There are no chandeliers. There are torches along like the pillars in the middle of the inn, going towards like the entrance.
Are there any torches nearby or anything I can reach?
There would be a torch right about here, if you can see that ping. On that pillar.
Okay. I'm going to 5-foot step. Can I grab it and throw it at the zombie or no?
Sure.
All right.
It's an improvised weapon damage.
Kill it with fire. Tell me what I need to roll.
It'd be a D20 plus your dex. No, you're not proficient in it, so.
Just a dex roll. Oh, I might have missed and burned down the inn.
A 5 misses. Yep. So it flings at it and just and you're really on point. But then the zombie kind of like rolls and it misses him, and you watch as it hits the ground, and now a little small spark starts to like billow upwards behind it.
Uh-oh.
This wouldn't be the first time I burned down the inn.
That's true.
Or the second.
It's also true.
Where can you point? Ping
I will have
fire
it for you in a second. I'm trying to find a
Jesus Christ.
I'm gonna say right
Luke.
here.
Why does this always
There's
happen to you?
Actually, it probably fell a little bit farther. So it's right there. Is where you see this little like fire patch starting in this little 5-foot square.
Not again.
Okay. So is that your turn, Luke? Or are you gonna move?
I'm going to say, I think it's time to, leave as I start to head for the door. Which way is the door?
The door is over here. And you see a crack, like a hole in the wall, and like through that hole you can kind of see some rubble.
No, I don't like that spot. I'm gonna move here instead. Diagonally. For my rest of my movement turn.
Okay.
I do say it's time to leave in a very prominent voice. So they all hear, clearly.
Now, answer me this. After Eleanor's illusion faded, is the bar seem to be in disuse?
It looks very much like a rickety old building that at some point was probably used, but more than likely the denizens were killed off long ago. So stuff is rotting and dry and dusty and cobwebby.
I just wanted to be certain of how important letting this place not burn down seemed to me, but it seems like I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Now that I noticed that it's pretty much abandoned.
Yes, it's exactly what it looks like.
I was gonna Ray of Frost the fire, but no, I'm not. Sorry, Elle. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
You're up.
I ask this every time. Which one is the weaker one?
As it stands, there's one on the ground that is weaker because it literally just fell, and there's a huge board probably in its head. But since it's on the ground, you have disadvantage against that as a range attack. The one in front of you, though, on the other hand, is close enough. It's taken very little damage, and is quite close to you.
This is possibly a terrible idea.
I like it. Go for it.
The only terrible idea is to not run away.
All right, so you moved 10 feet to move up to it. Okay. 14. As you slash into it, cutting off one of its arms, break. You can hear the ribs just snapping as you cut through them. It does not die, but it looks quite weak. What do you do with the rest of your turn?
We're gonna have to go back and save her now.
I assume you're disengaging. Is that correct? Make sure you call.
She said, dude.
Make sure you call it out before you move.
Hey, Aaron, where's our battle music?
I have it, just to reload.
Yeah, you might just reload for it.
I have to reload every 2 minutes for the music.
Sorry, guys. I don't know why it does that.
It's not you. It's Roll20. Don't worry, dude.
Magnus, you're up. You know what? I switched between muting my Firefox and my Chrome. Is what I do.
Me too, because as soon as one breaks, the other one starts working. It's fucking weird. have that exact same problem. Okay, so Magnus, Elle, what are you doing over there?
Do you yell at? Do you yell at to her?
You got a very different voice change.
I was really just kind of thinking out loud, but yes, Magnus, he grabs his top hat and says, "What the hell are you doing?" And then he starts running. Do you answer, Elle?
Fighting?
Okay, just in case you didn't see, there's a fire over there. Like pointing at the fire right between the two of us.
It's fine.
I run over.
Fire spread? It actually.
I ran over.
It skipped a little bit, so it actually spreads to another square.
Oh, it's spreading!
I'm gonna spam my necrotic shroud on the closest zombie, the prone one.
Okay, the prone one. So it makes a wisdom saving throw. It rolls a 5 because they're not that smart and takes 5 damage. It
sucks when the D12 rolls less than the D8.
That's true.
I'm gonna make it a toggle in the future so I don't have to see the other fucking roll and know what could have been. Anyway,
that's probably smart. So it starts to burn. You watch as like its flesh starts to like char and fall off of it.
Yes.
But it's still moving. As it's its turn. Do you move anywhere else? Or is that as far as you're going? Just to be clear.
That was my whole movement speed, so I'm done.
So it gets up on its turn this time, and it kind of turns and looks, and just growls and just starts moving forward towards you.
Oh, fuck.
No,
That's as far as it gets.
Okay.
All right, this other one, on the other hand, turns and looks at you, Elle, after you just smacked it, and it's angry. 5, 10, 15.
No, we have to go save our partner.
And it's going to attack you. For 12, what is your AC?
14.
All right, so it swings and you just barely parry, like you knock it out of the way with your bow. And that is their turn. Luke, you're up.
Oh, excellent. I imagine that there's also another fire thing here.
No, what? Yeah, there's a torch there, yes.
Okay, great.
There's torches all along all of them.
I'm going to move here, 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 grab the torch.
Okay.
Can I throw the torch?
Sure. It will do.
I'm gonna
Just
throw
clarify. It will
again.
only do 1d4 damage. I guess it'll do 1d6.
You know, I don't give a shit. I'm still gonna throw it.
So a d20 plus your dex.
Suck it,
Okay,
bitch.
so you crit. So it is now 2d4 plus your dex, or plus your plus your dex for the hit.
You know, my mother, Magnolia Marzipan Munch, always said, if you make a mistake, just lean into it. And I like the way you're going about this.
All right, so it hits the zombie. It doesn't light it on fire because it's still like goopy and wet and gross. But it hits the ground, but it gets put out by the zombie's like innards. Does not start a new fire.
Okay, so I was here, so 5, 10, 15, 20.
One more.
5.
All right.
I'm getting the fuck out of this building.
Elle, you are up.
Well, I have a good old 30 move speed, so
Right, so make
Disengages
sure
and
you
runs the fuck
disengage,
away.
and then
can I pew?
you can
Bottom
still
of the
pew.
pew?
Yes.
Okay,
Pew, pew.
pew.
17 hits for 6, which is just enough to hit. Ella's just knocking him down as this one collapses to the ground also.
Heck.
And as the turn ends, the fire begins to spread.
Oh, that's not that bad of a fire spread.
Oh, but both of them spread.
Oh. That's still not that bad.
Okay. Magnus, you're up.
Oh, goodness. All right, let's see here. Oh, I can't make it to another torch. I really wanted to help.
Just run away, man.
Um,
The zombie in front of you
I waved
is
to him, I was
charred
like-
and burning from your shroud, like a necrotic burn. And there's a torch laying on the ground next to it. It's moving quite slowly.
Nah, I wanted to help burn things, but I guess I'll be smart. I feel like also Magnus, for the first time since he's been here, just noticed where that door is. So he's gonna go there. Also, I'm gonna turn off my shield spell because it's not on.
Correct.
I really wish I had a health potion.
He is no longer prone.
And I guess the final one, I will give him one more blast. I hate to spam the same spell over and over, but I'm level 2, so I don't have much choice.
That's how it works.
I'm gonna blast him with one more necrotic shroud. Actually, I've been rolling great on the Ray of Frost.
Oh, nope.
Well, I was
fine. You already
I
rolled
was
it. It's
technically hasty on that one.
That's okay, man. I'm not worried about it.
Okay, so yeah,
My necrotic shroud did not roll correctly either.
yeah, I
so
saw that. That's my bad. All right, so then one more zombie's turn. This you might come back to regret that. 5, 10, 15. As it reaches you, and it's burning, it's horrifying, it's drooling, and it swings at you and hits you for 5.
I forgot the zombie I killed with my spell earlier. I can regain hit points from that. I forgot to do it. It's all right.
I'll let that happen.
But I can't do it with I don't think I can do it with cantrips actually, because you
still
gain
got false life though, right?
Yeah, that just took temporary hit points.
No, you have okay. You had 7 of it. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So
I already did the hit. I'm good.
Yeah, it smacks you, and that little bit of extra endurance you had starts to wear down.
Ouch!
As
that wasn't nice at all. Didn't your mother teach you not to hit?
Luke, you
I take
are
out my
up.
mace. I hand it to him and says, "Oh, hey dear, the world is a dangerous place. Take this." And then I proceed to leave. Bye.
All right, you get to about right where you're at now, and in front of you, then like the 3 squares in front
Don't tell me there's another fucker
of the
over
door.
there.
No, there's no zombies, but 3 in front of the door. You would have seen it before you got to this point. Are just covered in rubble and like broken support beams. The roof is caved in partially into the doorway there.
All right.
Okay.
Went upstairs to run the window.
Okay.
I'm gonna yell.
It-
Oh, the door is kind of blocked here.
Oh, great. Is there any other visible exits
You
on this floor?
you do see windows all along. You see like one actually south of L here that's boarded up. You see the door back over here.
I'm not worried about anything boarded up. I got a crowbar.
And then you also see. I forgot you guys actually have the. I didn't turn my dynamic light on. I could turn it on for this. But
Also, by the way, you have a mace now.
as also smoke is starting to fill the room. And then you see obviously the stairs upstairs, but there are other windows, and there's also the chimney. There's a window behind here,
I'm not Santa
and there's a
Claus,
chimney.
okay?
So that's your turn, Luke. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
that'll be my turn.
As the fire spreads further.
As you just skipped.
No,
did you
I didn't skip anything.
Continue your thing.
All right.
Fire continues to spread.
This is a bit of a sticky widget.
Do you have any spells left?
Ray of Frost. No spell slots,
A
unfortunately.
14 hits. Roll decent. You rolled.
Yes!
All right, and you watch the sound just. Actually, you know what? I will make a roll on this one. I haven't done it at all, but. So an 8. I need to make.
Take that, you brutish meat bag.
Yeah.
Although I.
As it leans forward and just reaches for your face and almost touches it and just freezes and doesn't move.
Yes. Frozen solid.
Frozen.
Doesn't he go after me?
No, you're. Why is this mixed up there?
You skipped.
Somehow you got skipped. I don't know how that happened. So go ahead and take your turn L right now, really fast.
turn.
You lose the glory of killing the zombie.
Sorry, Al.
That's okay.
Sorry, not.
I froze him in place.
I guess. Do I have anything for this window over here, down here?
It's a boarded up window. If you can find a way to break through the boards, you could do that. You could potentially try
Okay.
moving the rubble that's in front of the door, or you could try running for a different way.
How much rubble's in front of the door? Would you say a half-sized human could fit there?
No, I would say they could not.
Damn.
It got hit by a lightning bolt. It got pretty messed up. At almost point blank range. So, El, what do you want to try to do? There's a window to the back over here by the bar. There's a door to the kitchen. There's the chimney. You guys don't know what's in the kitchen,
also,
so.
Can you ping any windows that are nearby the front that I can clearly see?
You probably could see one over here.
I have a
Me, not
Dungeoneer's
her.
pack.
By the front door, no, you cannot see anything. There's no windows.
There's no windows in any of this area here.
No, most of this is up the way to the stairs.
Dungeoneer's pack has a crowbar in it, L.
Yeah, that's what I was
Crowbar
gonna-
would work perfectly fine.
Yeah, so like here.
Alright, so there's not one on this side, but you could go run towards here, or there's one on the back wall by the bar, like behind the bartender. Behind the bartender. Nope.
So there's no more zombie threats in sight, correct?
Nothing you can see in sight, correct.
Okay.
Now it's just fire spreading, which is why I'm keeping the initiative going.
Okay, well, I was going to say, because I do have the Ray of Frost cantrip, and since it is a cantrip, I would assume I could probably
Just
fire
like-
extinguish a lot with it.
I'd reasonably allow that. So, yeah.
Do you want me to make an opposed roll or something?
Pose versus what, though, really?
Yeah, I don't know.
Fire.
I really feel like you could just probably put the fire out with the Ray of Frost.
That's what I'd like to do.
So yeah, that's fine. We can just for the time being, it can you put the fire out. It starts to spread further and further. You know what we could do? You could do a like Arcana check or like an athletics check where you're like keeping the power constant and flowing.
Okay. You want me to make
A simple like
or-
DC like 12 Arcana
Okay.
or like
12.
athletics or something like that. That's stamina with no problem.
Oh yeah.
So it's fairly simple for you.
She's got a steady stream.
So as
I run up and I actually hop up on the table and start just like spraying the frost out of my hand and all the fire that's spreading.
I like it. Okay, so you spend your time doing that. I want to know because this is going to take you it takes you a couple
I'm going up the
turns.
stairs in the process.
Okay. So as you head up the stairs, I will move you to the other.
There's one turn.
Boom. You can go up there.
Ooh.
I poke my head over this thing here. Do I see anything dangerous?
Give me an investigation check. That will be your action for this turn. Yes, you actually do. As you're kind of looking, you're looking around and you notice that one of the floorboards seems to be rotted away. Yeah, as you like kind of like take a step, you actually like put your foot backwards a step, and the one right behind you on the staircase seems like it was going to collapse in. It seems like the second floor may have some rotted spots. You actually even notice one. I'll put them on the GM layer for everybody to see. Obviously, you're the only person who's aware of them. You see here. And there. That is what you're able, and the one right behind you are the ones you're able to see.
Excellent.
That are rotted
Time
out
to
and
loot.
might collapse.
Time to loot.
Okay.
I'm going to go through and carefully examine the rooms.
Okay. All the rooms' doors are closed. It's going to take you some time to do that. So I want to know what Elle is doing.
Where are the windows?
There is one down over here. There is one up by the bar keep. There is a bunch of rubble in the front by the door. And there is a window at the top of the stairs that you can't see. And obviously in each room.
Is there like is that the entrance to the bar?
Oh, I missed the ping. Try again. Oh, like over here in the corner? Yeah, this would be like the entrance over here. Or you could just hop over it.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah, over there. Yeah, that is the entrance to the bar. That's where it's like collapsed and whatnot.
That was my ping, but yeah, it's collapsed over there.
I can go like for now.
Okay.
Can I dash as a?
You can dash as a bonus action, yeah. You can dash as an action also.
Are we still on turns?
Oh,
A little bit. I guess
Just
not
resolving
really.
things one by one.
A little bit, yeah.
That's fine.
here-ish?
Great.
Question mark.
Yeah, roughly there. And you can reach the crowbar, and I need an athletics check to basically rip or snap the boards. which you do with no issue. It is effortless for you. It's like you're used to picking up this heavy sword and just swinging it around elegantly. You literally just like grab the boards like this, and they just snap. So there's now a way out through there. Man, so you're kind of still busy like cleaning up the fire at this point because it's gonna take more than one turn to really take care of all that. So I want to know what Luke is doing right now.
I told you what I was doing. I was looking for anything valuable worth taking, anything I can make into something else, like craftable materials,
Okay.
any information at all that would help me in the future. So journals, paperwork of any kind, I'm going to keep.
Okay. So you go to, I'm assuming, the first door then?
Yeah.
So you eventually get to the first door.
Look underneath, see if any feet are there.
You see no feet as you look underneath the door.
Okay. Pop the lock.
Pop it open.
With my thieves' tool.
It's not locked. So you're
No.
fiddling
Oh, that
around
makes
with
it
it,
easier. That
getting
does it.
ready to unlock it, and then you're like, it
Whoa. Aren't
opens.
you pretty there, lock, you know?
So it actually opens up to the room, like blocking the bed. And as you look inside, go ahead and give me a perception check this time. You're just trying to take it a quick glance.
Boom.
9. Okay. The one thing you notice is there is a little bit of rotting on the floor in the middle of the room.
Okay.
And you notice a foot hanging under the bed, like out under the bed.
I close the door and proceed to the next room.
Okay.
Hey, can you shift ping on his token, Amel?
Yeah, can you not...
Oh, in the stream, rather. You can't see it in
Oh,
the
I'm
stream.
sorry, guys. You scroll it up
Sorry.
here. You guys can see him. My bad.
I learned, someone taught me yesterday, if you're the dungeon master,
If
you can shift ping anywhere on the map, and it forces everyone else's view to go there
that
automatically,
is
which
cool.
is
I
dope.
did not know that.
Yeah, I know. I didn't either. That's awesome.
It's good enough.
Dodging that one creaky floorboard, by the way.
Obviously. All right, so you push open this door. Give me another perception check, and then we'll see what... At this point, Magus will probably be finishing up the fire, and we'll figure out what Elle is doing. So, okay. In here, you look around, and you find... We're going to try out one of these new fancy macros. See if I do it right.
I find a dragon egg. Yes! Rich boys!
Oh, I don't know what.
Nice. Whoa, that seems high.
That was really high. Why is that so high?
I will totally take that!
So,
I can't check the
So-
table anymore.
minus the 150 gold, because I don't know why that roll. It must have been because I must have put something in the wrong. But the 8 gold and 7 silver pieces, you do find like in like a drawer in a little tiny bag.
I'll have to look at that table. Did you roll twice on the 0 through 4 table?
No, maybe. I don't know. We'll just figure it out.
Well, I don't know how 150 GP was even on the 0 through 4 table. You may have rolled 1 on the 5 through 10 table, is what I think.
Left it
Yeah,
blank, so I
whatever,
don't
I'll
know.
just take the
But yeah, 8 gold and you
Anyway,
find 7.
sorry.
You find 7
Anything
silver
else
pieces.
in this room that's of interest?
Not really. This is a very rundown, creaky tavern at this point.
Okay. Is there still sheets on there?
They're like moth-eaten, and like basically there's more holes than there is cloth. And maybe a raccoon might have put a nest in there at some point. Like there's just a huge hole in the
Next room, skipping the hole in the floor.
middle. Alright, so let's find out what Magnus and Elle are doing then. So Elle, you busted open the floorboard or the boards blocking the window. Do you just like hop out? Do you like rest where you're at as Magnus finishes putting the fire out? What do you do?
Yeah, once I get them all off, I turn back to Magnus and yell over to him like, "Hey, made an exit. By the way, so we can get out like whenever."
Oh, that's good to know.
Can I hear this conversation, Aaron?
You can, and that's
Well, I want to shout.
I yell to the floor. Oh, that's wonderful, eh?
I'm gonna shout. We can leave whenever, but I'm kind of interested in all these undead things, and I want to do, if I can, my field autopsy because I'm a mortician's
Okay.
assistant.
which will tell you how. Can you link it in chat? So
Yeah, I'm dropping chat for you.
through-
Whether through academic study or sheer experience, I know enough about bodies to do basic examinations and automatically gain advantage on medicine checks to find out how long they have been dead and the cause of their death. So I guess I have to make a medicine check.
Yes, give me a medicine check with advantage.
Oh man, that's a great roll.
That was amazing. 2 rolls.
I'm rolling really good today. It will turn soon.
All right, so you move to one of the zombies close. The last one you kill, it's like frozen. And because most of the other ones are like broken and destroyed, this one's just frozen for the most part in place.
Curious, perfectly preserved.
Perfectly preserved. You planned that. It was planned. And you look at it, and as you're kind of like searching through, like it's goopy and gross. And for anybody else, they would kind of have an issue keeping in what they just ate in their stomach.
Not me. Quite interesting, intriguing.
Very
really
easy. You kind of poke around it for a bit. You notice a like what looks to be, at least on some of the skin that's still intact, some rope marks around its neck itself. But there is no rope there anymore. How long ago it died? From what you can tell, it's probably been about 5 months.
Curious. I wish to check the other zombies for rope marks as well, if I can tell.
Sure, you go searching for all that. At that same point, because of all the yelling, look, as you open the door upstairs, you hear the noise coming from behind you.
Behind me currently?
Like, not directly behind you, but in direction behind you.
God damn, it's the one underneath the fucking bed. Alright, well, I'm gonna check the room in front of me and close the door if there's nothing in there.
And so you open it up, you look, give me a perception check. You don't see anything. Nothing dangerous, to be more correct.
I just poke my head and be like, nope, nothing to see here.
Okay, and then what do? You go in and
To
close?
the next door, obviously.
Alright, so you go up that way. Alright, so this is Zambi.
Oh, the Zambi's now moving towards me? God, I'm fucked. I need a new character sheet.
Okay, so you watch as you start to hear this groaning noise, and then just this crash as this zombie falls and conveniently lands right on the stool in front of you, El. It just slams, ass just like slams into it. The stool itself snaps as it takes 4 damage.
Oh, wonderful. I don't gotta deal with this, do I?
Menace, you're walking towards the other bodies. You can move towards them, but before this point. And it is your turn. See what
Alright, just let you know.
All
I do
right.
have to AFK for a second.
So there's another zombie that's come down from the balcony, eh?
Yes, from all the yelling and the loudness you guys provided without warning that there's a zombie upstairs from Luke, it proceeded to try to go to the door and fell through the floor.
Dummy. I will... I'm gonna necrotic shroud
Okay.
on him.
All right, so
So I
it
cast
has-
my little spell, and the necrotic flames kind of start to try to wreathe around him. Roll is, yeah.
He fails.
No!
He fails.
Yes, oh yes. I did
Dang
win,
it.
Yes.
All right, as the flames start to burn, and it starts like scraping at its arms, trying to pull off the fire, and it's just raking into it. You're starting to see bone.
I imagine like the fire doesn't actually burn you either. It just, makes your flesh like die immediately. So he's just like wiping off like chunks of skin from his
That's
body.
exactly what's happening.
Awesome. Love it. Being a necromancer is the best thing ever. I should have played one years ago.
All right, it is
I love
technically not the zombie's turn.
Oh, it's my... Oh, was it my turn?
That was technically your turn. I was gonna let El go, and I was gonna let the zombie go.
Okay.
So,
Also, Aaron,
mhm.
Because I did hear a crash or something, I would probably go back and investigate what happened.
You can literally just look over the balcony. To your left is like the balcony onto the floor. There's actually a broken like part right there where the other zombie previously fell.
Oh, can I see it from where I am?
Yes, but it's El's turn, so I don't know what El's gonna do.
Alright, let me know when it's my turn.
So it's like kind of looks like it's in not great shape.
It's not in great shape, and right now it's been impaled by the bar stool. Like it snapped the bar
Attached to
stool.
the floor?
It's got to lift itself back up. It's still prone technically. So at this moment, any range check would have disadvantage.
So I'm just gonna from the opposite side of the bar.
Okay.
Just kind of slam this into its face.
Wow.
You just
All right,
reach
I'm not
over
needed.
and just right through the head.
Oh, hey there. Good job, kiddo.
This is okay.
Critical hit.
And now at this point, I will clear off the table because you guys
I will now
have
go check the
murdered
last
everything.
room.
As you look into the last room, give me another perception check. 7. You don't see anything dangerous, but you'd have to do like more of a closer look to see if you find anything valuable. Nothing's in easy sight.
God damn it!
All right. So as you step in to look around and find what you can, you guys hear a crash as Luke, you take a step onto one of these boards that you didn't notice that was rotting, and Magus, he falls from the ceiling. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
And dying.
2.
Congratulations, everybody.
You fall right in front of the chimney.
I take damage.
You take
I take it.
1d6 damage. There's a chance.
Just roll it for me.
All right. As you take 5 damage and he fall, you see, ah! And he just falls and hits the ground and he's unconscious. So he is right now.
Will you shift ping on him or something?
I'm slowing
I'm
down.
really bad at this
everybody.
whole keeping it on the shooting. That's so awesome.
That's all right. Well, now that I got that shift ping trick, that helps. But it actually didn't adjust your stream because you.
It just did.
GM.
So it did.
Oh, it did. Okay. I forgot I have a lag. That's such a nice feature,
That's so
actually.
cool.
Anyway, sorry.
Okay, so he's right now at 0 HP on the floor. You just start seeing the blood slowly start to pool out around him. What do you two do?
Aaron, can I get a new character sheet?
No.
Because none of these work the same. Me.
Oh my goodness. My goodness. What's that, Al?
I don't think do you have anything I could save him by chance?
Is he not unconscious?
He is making death saves at this point. You guys have your 2 actions, then he'll make
Do I
a death
make my
save.
first death save, by the way?
Oh, well, I'm fairly trained in the medical arts. I could try to stabilize the boy. Let me take a look.
So
Let's
you run over.
let's see here. I think I gotta make a 10 or higher.
It's a 10 or higher
stabilizer.
medicine check to stabilize him.
Woo!
So yeah, you take out some bandages and little things you have out of your pack. Maybe a lot of stuff that was used for wrapping up dead bodies that you now are using to save a life. It's a little bit of a change of pace for you.
Do I become conscious at this
No,
point?
you need to
at all?
roll me a 1d4.
Magnus kind of says to himself, "You're usually already dead at this point."
You reawaken in 2 hours. So
I would like to insist I snore loudly.
you do.
Very loudly.
Oops. I didn't.
Burial rights.
I didn't mean to drop that in there.
Wow.
Well, at least you won't come back, pal.
Okay.
Truth comes out.
Well, Al, perhaps we should not stay in here, but we should wait until he comes to before we travel further.
You could throw him in the cart.
Yeah, let's throw him in the cart, and I would actually quite like to bury this dead the way they're meant to be. And I would like to perform my burial rites on all, even though they probably aren't coming back because they've been destroyed. I still just want to throw them in a hole and bury them if I can.
Okay, that's gonna take you some time. I'm assuming you have a shovel.
I do. I think it was one of my pieces of equipment.
L, you.
If not,
I would just assume you have one. It's not a big deal either way.
Cool.
So L, you take some time because there's no way you're either gonna get all these goopy, gross bodies all over you, try to stuff them through this window. You take the time while Luke is unconscious. You guys don't hear anything else in it, minus little creaks and eerie noises in the tavern. And she slowly picks up and removes everything in front of the door enough to pass through safely. So that way you're able to drag them out front. And then Magnus and, I don't know, Elle, do you help him bury, dig the holes to bury the bodies, or do you let him do that work himself?
Well, I was actually gonna ask, did anybody look in the kitchen?
No, maybe you should see if there's any supplies
Yeah.
or interesting clues as to what happened to this place.
So, you do the body thing, I'll do the kitchen thing.
Sounds lovely. I'll feel right at home. And then I go outside and start like whistling and spitting on my hands and just like singing a happy song and digging a hole because that's what I like to do.
Okay. So, Elle, you go into the kitchen. The first thing that you notice is the scent of just rotten food. Which, to your horror, you realize that you ate cheese and crackers. And you drink water.
It was already moldy cheese.
But you,
Did I?
well, everybody kind of partook in the cheese and crackers. You also had water
No.
and brandy
off,
and coffee.
And in the middle of my conversation, she decided to shoot lightning at the door. Nobody ate fucking anything.
But as you look, like you take like a quick glance back and look, and the cheese and crackers themselves look perfectly normal. Like almost like it was a last meal. Everything you guys drank and ate was completely healthy.
Oh, really? I had good coffee? Good for her.
She gave you that one last potential, happiness in your life before you potentially
She
were
didn't even
dead.
give me a refill. What a bitch. My God.
But
Quite considerate, if you ask me, considering she was planning to murder us. Well, not murder us, but possibly murder us.
I'm still unconscious, so I have no comment.
That's true. Be quiet, you're dead.
So, Al, you go into the kitchen. It's just this rotten smell of like just horrible
dead.
food. You find a small
I'm mostly dead.
box on the ground that has
Better,
6 days worth of rations for one person. That are still in good shape. It's like beef jerky, basically. And like bread. Looking around for clues, why don't you give me an investigation check to see if you may figure out what happened here. 6. You look around for a bit. You aren't really able to tell, other than the fact that somehow these zombies got here. Anywhere in the kitchen or anywhere in like the tavern like living space, you have no idea what the hell happened. That zombies were here and they're bad. So, after it probably takes you close to 2 hours. You need to dig a really big hole, and you're a tiny man. So basically, by the time you are finished burying these bodies, Luke is waking up. Luke, you regain HP at one. You regain 1 HP at that 2 hour point. And Elle, what were you doing for like that last little bit of time? Were you resting, or what were you doing?
Yeah, I was just kind of watching Magnus do his thing with the body.
Leaned up against the tavern. I like it. So you just sit there. If you want, you may take a short rest, and you can expend hit dice to regenerate your health. Mangus and Luke, you both cannot yet, unless you guys want to take a longer. It'd be typically I do short rests as 15 minutes, just because it moves it along quicker.
Do I get HP back?
You get 1 HP when you regain consciousness.
What time of day is it?
It is the afternoon.
Maybe we should just make camp nearby. I can't sustain any more injuries.
Which, Magnus, you also to make a kind of a mental note that she left midday.
The Eleanor did. She walked out in the middle of the day.
She left midday, and she didn't seem like she was burning, from what you could see.
Quite curious. I shall note this with my sketch in my notebook.
Okay.
Can I collect my arrows?
You get half of them back that you shot. So whatever you have, I don't know how many you shot. You might have shot like 7 of them. You can round up. I'm fine with that. Scroll till your last bow shot. All right, so you guys are going to take a long rest then? Is that how it's going to go?
If we could make a safe camp nearby.
Sure. So why does someone give me a survival check where you're able to like hide the mule in the cart, in addition to having a safe place to rest from the potential undead and nasties that could be coming.
Am I conscious yet?
You're conscious. Yes, everybody's conscious right now. Weak.
Just badly hurt, which is why I'm suggesting we camp for the night.
Well, I think the building would actually be a safer place, because we can kind of, have a funnel point where you can choke things in, and kind of like, all those good things as opposed to being, out in the wilderness where you got all these angles. Creatures can come in from nowhere and just kind of lop off your head there like cantaloupe.
That's sound logic. I feel more at home in a house of the dead anyway. Let's go in.
So the one thing you do make note of that is that there's no way to fit your cart into this building because of the collapse of the roof. You could fit the mule in though through the front door.
Okay, can I try and camouflage the cart in back, out back?
I think I have a good solution to this. I'd like to try to build a boot.
So no one can steal the cart.
Oh yeah,
That's so smart. Oh my god, that's so genius. Quite clever indeed, Luke. Let's see what you can cook up.
Sure, you go out and you wander a little bit to find the supply. You gather supplies around here. You bust off some of the stuff, and you have rope. Obviously, it'll be available in the tavern.
Hells yeah, we're gonna build ourselves a boot.
It would be. Is there a specific role that's required for an artificer to craft like the mundane items?
No.
Or if it's otherwise,
you can make me. You can say, hey, you need to roll this and give me a really low DC.
Let's look here. I'm looking you up fast. I want to see if there is a for like making mundane items, or you can just craft them. Because if you can just craft them, I'm not going to have you make a roll. Quick look.
So do you have like a gold and time amount required to make that? For me to even make a basic tinker thing with my tinker, it takes 1 hour and 10 GP.
The fact that you guys have an entire tavern to make use of for a boot, I think is you have the. It's a makeshift. You have the materials and the time. I don't really need gold for the time. When you guys already have.
You just want me to roll an intelligence, and if I make over a 10, I make a.
It's reason. Yeah, it's reasonable. I like that.
Watch me roll like a 6.
Can I assist with my tinkering skill?
Yeah, I would have allowed that.
Yes,
please do. In the future, I won't allow after the roll's made, but I will.
I was actually trying to say it, but you clicked it really fast.
Which is why I'm letting it happen. So you,
yes,
I
was thinking it before he rolled it. I just didn't get
Brilliant!
You make a makeshift boot out of a different, you bend some metal, you start a little fire in the fireplace to bend some of the fire tools so that they're actually metal and not rope to prevent someone from getting it. Yeah, and you make a boot for your wagon. As you guys just place it you place it right in front of the door. So that way, nothing can really get in easily to the tavern either at the same time.
Well, I just thought, it might be easy for nothing to get in here, but, it'd be really hard for us to get out of here.
True. Maybe
you guys have the back window, and you can also just crawl under it to get out. You'll be able to get out the front door still.
We do have that one back exit. You and I can jump right through. Elle Skinny, she'll slip right through.
Okay.
Okay.
I want to build a small tent inside with the tables, so I can sleep
in. A little fort.
Yeah.
Oh god, it looks weird.
All
right, there's your mule. I don't have a black one, or I would use it.
So yeah, I lead in the mule, and I hope I say to everyone, I hope you don't mind if Jericho spends the night inside.
Well, that's kind of an interesting name there for Jericho. Me myself, we always named our horses the same thing, which was always, apples.
Yeah, I've heard of your family's legendary for your apples horses.
No, we're actually more legendary for, the pudding, but, elven pudding is kind of like one of those higher, and I continue to talk about elven pudding for the next 2 hours.
Magnus is just starts reading his journal, not even listening.
It's exhausting.
And nodding, flipping pages in my journal slowly through my research.
All right, you guys spend the night. It's a little bit longer of a rest than you normally would take, but nights are not safe in this area, so you figured it was better to rest throughout the night and then continue on in the morning. You all will get back your full HP. No one spent any hit dice, so don't have to worry about that. You get your spell slots if you get them back at a long rest and whatnot. And you prepare to head off into the day. So,
crikey.
Is there anything anybody wanted to do during the night in the tavern?
Make more ammo.
Okay.
Magnus is just gonna work on replenishing his spells and healing. More than anything.
Okay, that's what you and Elle
studying as usual.
If you would like another investigation check, you are more than welcome to have one. Or technically, because you guys are both doing actually something useful right now. I don't know if Elle wants to check again and risk bodily injury, or if you wish to just kind of relax and just kind of keep an eye on the group, which kind of. I killed everything.
I'll just chill, but also can I give them a little bit of the food I found?
Yeah, we have 6 days rations for one person, so you could give you both of them 2, or you could give them both 1, or whatever you want to do.
I'll
Oh,
give both 2.
Ah,
oh,
thank you so much.
you know, this is a wonderful gift there. You know, if you add cheese curds to this, it'd be quite delicious.
And you eye that the blue cheese is right there on the table. Close.
It's not quite, but
close enough.
cheese curds, but it I gotta do.
Magnus says, don't you know food is the best gift you can give to a gnome or halfling, I believe.
Oh no, I think the best gift you can give to a halfling is
No, I don't know.
the things that go into the pipe there.
Long bottom leaf.
Oh yeah. Don't you know that's like the best gift you can give there?
Okay. We've learned something new about gnomes and halflings.
We like to drink.
I like to get stoned and eat a bunch of shit.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you guys adventure on. I think we can just kind of do a quick, because it's the roads during the day which are patrolled. You do pass a couple of Greylaws that are on horseback patrolling the roads. You see very few people on the road, maybe like 1 or 2 others that are traveling between the city, Davenport and Linwall.
Can I take a moment to ask them if they've seen any woman matching the description nearby?
Sure, you could.
You can show them my sketch as well.
I show them the crudely drawn stick figure art.
Fine.
Can you also suggest the possibility that it's black or blonde hair, nice looking or terrible looking?
Good thinking.
She might be a pretty woman, or maybe not. Who knows? It really comes down to a subjective idea of how you see people there. But she did have kind of a red dress on there, from what I remember.
Pointed teeth.
Oh yeah, and she kind of had these sharp
pointed teeth. They kind of look
like a scissors. Like scissors. Something sharp where you can cut things.
They're looking at you so confused at this point. I don't think I saw. If I saw anybody like that, no, it's mine.
It's kind of you should help downtrodden travelers there at any moment. Isn't that what your
you
guild
sir
is known for?
Do not. My guild. I'm not in a guild. Are you in a guild?
No.
Okay then. I do not.
Magnus shakes his head and says, if I might interject, I apologize for my friend here. Have you seen a woman matching this description? I'd be willing to throw a gold crown your way for the information.
Okay. Based with the, I'm gonna give it advantage because they look at you and go, yeah. I saw her in a picture once.
Saw it in a picture? Where was this picture? In a book?
Where did I see it?
You don't strike me as the reading type, but
who needs to read? I saw it. No, I remember. There's a tavern just down the road to the south or to the west. Can't miss it. Picture right on there.
Is it the tavern we came from?
It's 100% the tavern you guys just came from.
I'll tell you what. Is this who am I talking to? Exactly?
You're talking to 2 random commoners that are making some kind of trip from Linwall to Davenport.
You saw the picture in the tavern, like a painting on the wall?
Yeah, I haven't been there in a very long time though.
Did we didn't notice that painting on the wall anywhere?
I mean, if you went back and looked specifically, I mean, with your investigation checks, there's nothing that really stood out as seeing her. Your best guess maybe is that maybe it eroded with time, weather, and worn.
Strange.
Why couldn't it be a tapestry? Don't you know that tapestries last there forever? They just majestically sit there on the wall.
No, I'm pretty sure it was a picture.
Well, thank you for the information. Regardless, we've just come from that way, and it seems that painting no longer hangs, as far as I can tell.
Well, that's sad news. Well, I'll have to stop by and say hi to the barkeep. You guys have a good day. Safe trips.
Okay,
Oh,
yep. Bye bye. I think
you
about
know,
warning them, but
before
decide not
you
to.
leave, just
Wait,
to let
how,
you
what?
know that you shouldn't actually go to that tavern there. She doesn't actually work there anymore. Now it's not kind of like a hellhole. It's kind of the things that the
That's
people
not
would call
really
it.
nice to call a tavern when we used to go to all the time. A hellhole is pretty
Well,
rude.
using deception. It's actually kind of run by orcs now, and they're not
Ooh.
very friendly. They use kind of like axes to say hello.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
how
no,
it
no, no, no,
is
no, no,
there.
no, no. I'll just stew. If it's orcs, I'll take your word for it.
Oh, okay. Well, you have yourselves a great day there, gentlemen, and safe travels to you.
Dude,
And remember to eat lots of elven pudding.
sure, I guess.
Wink. Saying wink weirdly.
Do you actually say it to them?
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys travel for a bit, and you eventually make it to the Linwall. With no real other issues, it takes you about another day, I believe, to get there.
I would like to say during this time, I want to have a conversation with Magnus about not divulging information that is not needed to be divulged to people that we don't know.
It is a 2-day trip.
I didn't divulge any information. What information specifically did I divulge?
You kind of told that their lady who turned up into the mist and whatnot, into what we were from and where we're going. That's kind of divulging information there. Whether you think so or not, I don't mean it to be kind of an offensive thing there. I know
Well, the Shadowguard is no secret. I mean, you wear their pin on your cloak.
Well, actually, I kind of wear this kind of like leather thing there. I don't believe in cloaks because don't you know that cloaks are they're the number one cause of death there in vigilantes.
I don't know about that. I think they're the number one cause of not getting shot by an arrow in the ass. But if it's not evident enough from the brooch I wear on my shirt, then she would be too dumb to do anything bad to us anyway, if I did tell her. I did not give her any other specifics. I represent this guild proudly.
Well, you did have one thing correct there about her. She didn't actually have any elven pudding, so definitely she wasn't worth our time.
I told you her intelligence was not high enough.
Oh, hey, Elle, I do have a quick question for you. What are your thoughts on elven pudding?
I can't say I've ever had any.
Oh no, Magnus shakes his head. Here we go.
I look disappointed at her, like, and then I end the conversation. Disappointed.
Okay. It's actually a 2-day journey total. Make it to Linwall. It is a pretty quaint town. The town itself has one like main street that is quite wide. You could probably fit about 4 horses wide on it, horse and wagons. But the side streets themselves are extremely thin. Like trying to walk 2 people at a side is quite difficult. The buildings are all stacked really close together, and they're very, very tall. And surrounding the entire town is a wall with 2 gates on either side. And that is where you arrive at. You guys, if you stop there, you stop at a inn known as a Wink and a Pause.
A wink and a paw?
A Wink and a Pause. Okay. Which is run by a half-orc known as Ethert. So,
spell that name for me.
Do we have the Booker
ETHEHRT. Ethert.
ETHE Ethert. Wait, what?
Here, I'll boom.
Put it in chat for me.
Do we have the Booker rooms?
It does. It would cost you 2 silver for a night. It's a pretty. It's not a poor. And this is actually a town. It's not a village. Yeah. So it's got decent commodities. So it's about 2 silver a night.
Can I book it real quick?
Yeah.
Oh, hey there. I kind of need a couple of rooms here for the night. Is that not going to be a problem? Actually, what I really mean is, do you have something more fitting for someone of my
your
position in life?
What is your position?
Isn't it kind of obvious?
No.
A fantastic traveler there.
Oh, he's short like me. Very small. Very
I
small.
don't
What?
like that term. We don't use that term here, Magnus. We use the word.
You're looking for the short rooms. All right, that's fine. No problem.
Fabulous.
That's it, sir. Yeah, the short rooms. That's right.
That's perfectly fine.
We're short.
Sir,
Look at him. Look at
You,
me.
sir, need to.
You might be
watch your
quite
tone.
tall for a
You're
halfling
very
or a
short
gnome
there.
or...
You know,
What are you?
You're being kind of rude there. Do I need to write the, halfling consulate about your behavior here and see that you get no more business?
The
I can also
halfling
write the elvish consulate too, and they would cut off your supply of pudding so fast you had no idea what happened. But you kind of want to be rude here to me because you think a short joke is kind of funny.
Give me an
there. We're
intimidation
gonna have
check.
a really big problem. How about a deception check?
No, that's intimidation at this point.
No. I'm bluffing. I am straight up lying to the guy about the consulate and all that other shit. That's deception.
I feel like you're trying to... I'll give it to you. I'll be nice.
All right.
How dare you?
It's like a bitch.
No.
Hopefully you're dumb as fuck.
Oh, I find a work. It might be. I'm just doing standard, like, he's not anything super smart or super great.
Be fucking stupid.
It's
Don't have a
wisdom,
moment of
right?
clarity?
It is wisdom.
I guess.
Wisdom is... Alright, so he doesn't have any modifiers.
Please roll low. Please roll low. No!
He just looks at you and goes, then you do that and find somewhere else to sleep tonight.
Magnus steps in and says, "If I may."
You may not.
Okay, well, good day then. And then Magnus
this
turns
is
back
a very
around and walks away.
large, bulky half-orc with like a broken tusk. He has no cares what the little people want.
You no longer have elven pudding to serve to your patrons.
Sir,
you can
sir,
suck
I
it.
need to ask you to leave at this point, or I will remove you myself.
I'm actually yelling at you from the door. You actually can't tell because your vision is a little blurry, and you actually are seeing me farther away.
As he grabs a club
Come on, Luke.
from...
Come on.
Do you go?
Was he grabbing?
He's grabbing a club from under like the bar, like, and he's coming back out. Just like puts it on his shoulder. There's this massive like club.
I pull out my gun and says, I know when I'm not wanted here. Okay, you can kind of kindly put your glove down or your club down or whatever the hell you orcs like they're half orcs or whatever the hell you are like to carry around. As I start to walk backwards,
He just stands there and watches you. And he looks at Magnus and goes, "You're more than welcome still."
I'm more than welcome to stay.
He is the problem.
No,
You are more than welcome to stay. It's 2 silver a night. You may have either a big or small room.
Listen, I know that my friend, trust me, I spend my journeys apologizing for him over and over. Could he maybe have a place to stay in the stable? I'll pay full price.
That is acceptable.
All right, 6 silver. I'll pay for everyone.
Oh, and he kind of looks at, lady. Kind of bows at you. Then he goes back to where he puts the club back down into the bar, and yeah, so you can stay in the stable side if you choose to, Luke. Magnus and Elle, you both have a nice, comfy room. Not great amenities, but still.
I will protest the stable, put the donkey in my stead, and go stay at the halfling, consulate.
There is no halfling consulate. I regret to inform you.
There is now.
Is it a possibility for me to be like, hey, big orc? Because the whole flattery thing.
So, what are you trying to do here? He goes, what can I do for you?
Can I at least let Luke sleep on my floor or something? He doesn't need his own room. He won't take up any other people's space other than mine.
Give me a persuasion roll. Okay, so he kind of looks at you. For you, if I catch him on the bed, it's the last place I'm going to catch him.
Thank you, kind sir.
You're welcome.
Well done, Elle.
Fucking grab his whatever leather crap he has on him.
And I just gonna be like all the way over to the room, be like, oh yeah.
He makes comment. Keep him quiet too.
That dumb hoser.
I actually want to lean into the orc and be like, and I just want to say thank you for being a level-headed man, and I'm gonna slip him 1 gold coin across the bar This is for any extra trouble we caused.
Appreciate it. Hopefully you cause no more.
No, none. Promise. Off to my room. Good night.
Good night.
I start trying to push Luke towards the room.
You're dragging him. You're pushing him. You eventually get...
I'm walking all pouty and moody.
So you guys eventually get a room. Night goes by. Is there anything you guys want to do in the town? There is a center, like general store, where you can buy potions and stuff if you want. There are people around town if you want to just mingle with people.
I thought, how much are potions?
Potions are 50 gold. Healing potions are quite rare and very expensive.
Nobody can fucking afford that shit right now.
Can I find a diamond that is cut well enough to use as a spell casting
in this town?
Material? In any of the stores, or a jeweler, or maybe the general store just happens to have.
I'm going to spend my night, Aaron, writing a forged letter from the halfling consulate to the gentleman, saying how all halfling business will and elvish business will cease from this point forward.
Okay, so you're going to spend your long rest forging a document, a 4-page document.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that and you, who are you going to deliver this to?
Oh, the guy up front.
The orc, the half orc.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to pay someone else to deliver it for me, though.
As he's writing it, I'm going to say, actually, I have an idea. I could help you deliver it.
I presume at this time you guys are all like in L's room, or because you know it's
really there. You could help me deliver it there to this brutish gentleman, who has no manners.
I do have a spell that can shift my appearance for a short time. If you tell me how to make the clothes look, I could appear like a consulate.
Oh, of course there. I could definitely do that. My, folks, I don't know if you know this or not, where my folks are actually, halflings, but, they were indentured servants to the elves. That's why I get my name, Cardonal. The famous pudding people, they're kind of like my adopted parents or whatever. But anyway, I digress. Yeah, sure.
Okay, well, in the morning, we'll take care of that.
Does
yes.
Is Luke like as good with the whole forgery thing as I am?
You guys can compare notes. I would probably give you an advantage on the roll. I would let you guys.
I have a forgery kit. That's the only reason I'm doing it.
Right, she does also. I would believe who has the higher.
My whole back.
I have 4 to deception.
That is true. I think Elle might have a better chance at making it work, but there's no check for this. So really, you guys are probably equal terms of this specifically. Okay. If it was something more intricate, it would be like advantage on a roll. Yes.
Well, actually, I was gonna say if I'm better than him, then I would have told him, given him like wrong tips.
I wouldn't have told her about me writing this forged letter either, just to put that to bed.
Well, you and I were talking about it. Was she not there when we were chatting?
So here's what I'm gonna. She was there. You guys were all in the room. That was the assumption because you were in Elle's room when this happened.
Yeah, right.
So here's what we're gonna do. You need to make me a Go ahead and roll your forgery kit, Luke, and you have disadvantage. You can just click it. You have disadvantage on the not that on the left hand side. It should be in the tool proficiency section. Do you actually have that right there? We're gonna add that there. Let's find out.
Have it, but it doesn't give it to me over
hold on a second.
That's weird.
Hold on, I got it covered. Efficient. Damn it. Int. Quit doing stuff. Int forgery. All right. So go ahead and roll. It's now on your little tool side on the left where your thieves tools are.
I might need help with this.
Okay. So that is her help. Is she's trying to make it worse by giving you tips like you should do this and this and this, and that's really she's trying to make it worse, give you bad tips.
But under the guise of helping.
It seems like it's a great idea, and
I don't know.
Based off your intelligence, you think it's amazing. And you think this is a great letter. It worked out well. Her ideas really helped improve it, and then you give it to Mingus to present to the guy in the morning.
That's not going to go well.
Okay.
After I see the letter, Magnus kind of pipes up and he says, I'm having second thoughts about this. Weren't you part of this family? This letter doesn't even look like it's from their offices. Have you ever seen an official document in your life?
Well, don't you know here that this here L girl here, she tried to help me out. So if it's not very good, you can kind of blame her because I'm actually never wrong.
I look over at can I make an insight check to see if I know that Elle
Deception
was
check.
fucking with it? You want me to make an insight check to
No,
see if
you can do an
I wanna
insight.
sense
I
if-
want Elle to give a deception for the DC of it, basically.
Oh, I see.
She's gonna roll a
So we're
crit,
contesting.
too.
So Elle, deception.
Oh no.
No, Elle was
Fucking
doing her
God.
very best that she could to assist Luke in making this the best forgery he has ever made.
Well, in that case, when he tells me, I'm gonna
That's
start
what
to
he
say,
thinks.
well, Elle, that was very nice of you, but you're terrible at forgery. And I hand the letter back to him, and I say, I don't think I want to deliver this any longer.
So I
Well,
can't like
you know,
let him in
um,
on it that I was.
You
messing-
you
can.
could, but his initial
That's-
thought is that you did your best.
So you tried to
maybe
help, but
I
it's
should,
terrible.
Maybe I should come back to doing this another time there. Sometime when I have more experience with these things.
It
it's
really
actually
seems
kind
like
of
a waste.
first attempt.
It really seems like a waste of energy. I mean,
Well,
he
when
only
you-
called you. He only called us small after I said
Well,
small.
I don't think you understand. When
I
you
said
have
it
people
first.
who insult you, you kind of have to take it personally, or else they keep walking on you forever.
I don't
know
think
that somebody of a good
forgot
position
about
such
that.
as yourself will have
I don't think-
not have this
I forgot
problem,
about
but
that.
I'm kind of got a kind of a persona here where I'm kind of a riffraff, and nobody respects me. So I got to make sure that nobody makes fun of me, or else
Luke,
uh,
let me interrupt you right there. My closest friends are dead.
well,
I have
they
no-
won't speak poorly about you there. Well,
I have no position in society. People regard me as a smelly gravekeeper. But I will tell you, that man was just trying to help us find the right accommodations, and
yeah, until he kind of made a slight against me.
he only
I-
repeated the words that I said, which was a room for short people.
Well, why don't you guys? Why do you got to be so mean to me there then?
I was merely
now you're the
describing. I
problem
was
here,
merely
not the
describing
guy.
myself. I was merely describing
Right.
myself, and I stand.
This-
I
I'm
actually
quite
don't
a-
like the term
Alright.
short there.
This-
I'm kind of vertically challenged.
This argument
I'm
So
quite
in the
a-
future, you can kind of refer to me as that. Okay.
Okay.
thank you.
If you haven't noticed, I'm a few inches shorter than you.
So this argument goes.
I take my hat off.
This argument goes on and on and on throughout the whole night. Elle, you have a very rough night of sleep. It is not that enjoyable to sleep. No one's affected by any exhaustion like that. You guys eventually do fall asleep after arguing. No one wins the argument whatsoever. And you guys wake up kind of grumpy in the morning, but, you kind of just deal with it. At the moment.
I wonder
Begrudgingly.
if they got those kind of potatoes there with the cheese curds and that gravy there on it, because that would be like the best way to start the morning. Then a steaming cup of that bean brewed coffee, as they call it.
So you guys go downstairs.
Yeah.
You find a nice. He offers an array of breakfast foods: flapjacks, waffles, some omelets and whatnot.
The best kind of flapjacks there have maple syrup on it. As I point to both of them, poking them at the same time.
As you guys if you guys partake in it, it's only like 2 copper for the time. If you don't have copper, knock off the silver.
How much was it?
It's just like
Sorry.
2 copper for the meal in the morning, plus the 6 silver from the inn. Is there anything else you guys want to do in town?
Yes.
Did my search for the diamond turn anything
Correct.
up?
Why don't you give me actually I made a roll. There actually happens to be a jeweler in the town. If you're looking for a 50 gold diamond, more than likely you will find one in that shop.
All right, I'm gonna spend the gold to just have 1 diamond.
Right, so you spend that gold to have 1 diamond. You buy it from a man. Their name is actually her name is Elle Seatail. She is an elf that has vibrant clothing on. It kind of has a wise look to her.
All right. Does she know what I'm buying it for? Like, is it obvious to
You
her?
might. She has a very good assumption based off like your clothing and kind of like the feel she gets off you after the conversation you have. She kind of maybe
Just the
has-
fact that I'm a fucking weirdo, bug-eyed little gnome in a top hat
what
gives it away.
it's either that or you're buying it for some woman that is just trying to get you for the money.
That's
it's-
right. Well,
it's-
that's not the first time.
It's one of the two. All right.
All right. Well, at least I got one I can prepare chromatic orb one time.
Okay, so
God, it's so expensive.
it is ridiculously expensive. So you guys,
That's my lifeline.
travel for.
Ooh, can I make my comments about something?
Go ahead.
I do want to apologize to the orc and say, sometimes I get upset and there's always a spark of good in somebody and maybe he didn't really mean it that way. And I apologized because there's always a spark of good in somebody.
Are you doing this to like talk down to him?
So,
Are
like,
you
my
being
ideas?
sincere?
Sincere. Yeah, no, it's my ideals that, everybody deserves redemption. Maybe he didn't actually mean it and I'm just being judgmental.
After Luke apologizes and rejoins us, I want to say, Luke, that was big of you.
Is that there a compliment from my my favorite buddy here, the guy who likes to tinker around with all the cool dead people things.
Ah, thanks. I love you too. That was really nice. Like I said, you're a big man.
Oh, that's the best.
You got a
thing,
big heart.
that you say.
Some might say a bigger man than I.
Not by much there, but you're also a big man. We should get some flapjacks sometime and kind of tinker around with some stuff.
Sure thing. After I'm away from Luke, I want to turn to Elle and be like, I'm kind of glad. I almost suggested that he give the letter to the orc, but maybe he's a nice guy after all.
Maybe deep down. Deep down.
Regardless, we shan't tell him about your little prank.
Thank you.
Okay. I think we'll be ending the stream here shortly because we got like 15 minutes or so left, and
that time.
I think you guys, we kind of fast forward. You guys, you pass through Oswald and and Valden, and you make it to Whiteborough at like the city gates. It is a very large, tall city. It's very dark and gloomy. Like literally, there's a thunderstorm in the background as you guys step in. There are multiple large main streets within the city itself, but the housing ways, same thing almost as what was in Linwall, where they're very thin roads, very cramped together, almost like old England looking type buildings. But everything is very
it's like buildings on buildings.
On
like,
buildings, yes. And like there's just like signs that tell you what things are for shops and whatnot. As you enter in, you guys eventually come up. Actually, I think I have a description of this somewhere.
Are any of the signs loose?
There are plenty of loose signs that are squeaking and moving back and forth.
Spin the thing around.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see.
If we arrive at an inn before the session ends, are we gonna make it to an inn?
Actually, I thought I had a description of. I think we'll just leave it at that. I had a description of the guild hall itself that you guys will come to, but I will just describe that when we first come to the next session next week.
That sounds like a great place to start. One thing I do want to say is before we enter the city, just to be safe, I am gonna cast disguise self on myself.
Okay.
And I'm gonna make myself look like
Don't you make yourself taller than me.
I am gonna make myself look
Don't
like
you dare.
Another halfling.
Oh, thank God.
Without Shadowguard garb, just like your average traveling merchant kind of garb.
You walking in as a random traveling merchant. As the other two of you walk in, weapons on backs.
I have a fine set of clothes.
Ooh, you come in looking fancy.
Hell
yeah. Well,
I just don't want to. I mean, we have
clothing.
I mean, I have a disguise kit.
I think it may not hurt. We don't know who's our comrades are missing. It might be by some devilish design from one of our enemies. Maybe we shouldn't walk into the city announcing that we're part of the Shadowguard.
No. If we're here to be, Shadowguard members, you kind of got to live up to the reputation of being, kind of a cool guy who just waltz in, and gets shit done, as opposed to, somebody who piddle paddles around kind of like everybody else.
Oh, I think we should be cautious until we have a few more clues. I'm just taking your advice. You told me not to tell people. Now I'm trying to cover it up, and you want to tell everyone.
Well, it's kind of like our guild home quarters, like our home court,
Exactly, and it's in great danger. You can do whatever you wish, but I shall remain in disguise 50 feet away from you.
Can Can I use my disguise kit? And
Are you trying to say that
Yeah, okay.
I'm kind of smelly or something there? Like, what is this?
No, I'm saying just put your damn Shadowguard emblem into your bag.
Oh, I kind of thought you were gonna make fun of me there, but that actually makes kind of sense. I take it off, I put it in my pocket.
I'm just looking out for us.
Okay.
I actually appreciate your kind-hearted nature and everything. It's kind of surprising that you kind of worked with dead bodies for so long.
They get me. I don't know.
Okay. So we kind of get a view, I guess, of. Do you put on your fancy clothes, Elle? With the disguise kit? So we see a merchant, or we see Luke walking in, like his little like emblem missing, walking
Dark clothes.
in his dark clothes, walking like through the gateway of Whiteborough, followed about 50 feet behind by Magnus in the shape of a halfling that no one really pays attention to. And then you have Elle, and like I'm assuming you dress yourself look really, really. Are you an elf now? Or are you still a human, just different hair color and stuff, or what are you?
Yeah, still a human, just very dapper looking.
We see a very dapper looking woman in her very fancy clothes, walking not too far from you, Magnus, as you walk in, and it just kind of fades out at that point.
Excellent. Don't forget, I'm walking in with Jericho in my cart.
Yes, that's true. You did your code. You just kind of have it like in your hand because.
Did we keep the boot for later?
The cart boot?
Yeah, we need the cart boot to be saved.
I'm assuming I've packed it in the cart.
I'll allow it.
Well, I mean, it is kind of makeshift, so
It may not. Who knows how well it'll hold together the next time.
Buy a lock and then lock it appropriately.
We'll build a better one soon. Yes, but yes, I do have Jericho, my mule, and my cart, and that's it.
Okay.
Wonderful.
I think that's a
good session, guys.
Yeah, I enjoyed that a lot. I thought that was fun.
Me too. That got me real excited for the rest of the campaign because that was really fun. I hope everybody viewing at home had a good time too. Thanks everybody who tuned in tonight.
Yeah, thank you for sure on that one.
One on the bun, baby.
And Amel, thank you so much for dungeon mastering, dude. That was fucking great.
Yeah, no problem. I had a lot of fun doing it. It takes a while to prep it, but I think I have some interesting ideas that we will see come to fruition throughout the campaign. And if you guys want, you can catch my other D&D game. I run it on my own stream, which is twitch.tv/Melwin, which is there.
I'll put it in chat.
I have it on Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. Central Time. So basically 12 hours from now on Sundays. If you want to follow stuff like that, please do. I will try to stream some GM prep stuff for this campaign and whatnot. At least maybe one day a week if I can get it in. I'm usually kind of busy.
There you go. Yeah, guys, go watch Amel's channel and you'll get the lowdown on what's going to happen next. Yeah. Maybe you can make a suggestion as to what happens in the campaign.
That is definitely something that I am willing to listen to and get ideas from. I like that. It's a great idea. So
awesome. Dude, this was so much fun. I can't thank you enough, Amel. Oh, there was something else I wanted to say as well. Oh, did you get the commercial reel working? I wanted to play that. Awesome. And Amel's going to play a commercial reel. We got all the correct commercials up and running now for all of our shows. Everybody tune in tomorrow night. Dungeon Squad will be airing around 11 p.m. Eastern. Dungeon Squad, of course, being our in real life, in-person D&D game of Horde of the Dragon Queen that we've been streaming. It's a lot of fun, so stop by that one. And thanks again, everybody else.
Thank you.